Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This video is a marathon video which covers Set D, Paper 3 Entrepreneurship and Startup Ecosystem in CA Final Self-Paced Online Modules. We have to note important things before watching this video. All the 9 chapters are covered in detail in this video. All this will be completed within 3 hours. Notes used in this session will be available in the Telegram channel. You can download it from there. How to join the Telegram channel? I have given the link to join the Telegram channel in the description and also in the pinned comment. You can go there, click the link and join the Telegram channel. From there you can access the notes. These are all the some important things before watching the session you should note. Let's start with Chapter 1. Chapter 1 has 2 parts, Part A and then Part B. Part A is about Introduction to Entrepreneurship and Startups, and then Part B is about Startup Registration. The Part A contains a little bit of introduction and types of entrepreneurs and some basic things. It will be very easy. Come on, let's get into the chapter. First thing is entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? They are telling that entrepreneurship has 2 main things. One is innovation, second one is risk taking, and then the drive to create value. You have to make innovation, you have to take risk, and you have to deliver value to the customer. This is an important point. Where does the term entrepreneur come from? You can read this. Here they are telling that the word entrepreneur comes from a French word. The person who coined this French word, that and all they are telling. The next thing is entrepreneur should be unique. He should be independent, passionate, visionary, that and all the qualities of an entrepreneur. The next thing is startups. What are startups? They are newly established companies for entrepreneurial ventures. They are new companies. They have some characteristics which are given here, like innovation. They should make something new. Risk and reward. They should take risk and they will be getting reward for the same. They should have entrepreneurial spirit. They should be approaching venture capital for funding requirement. They will be having lean operation. Without any wastage, they will operate. They will have rapid growth. There should be ecosystem support. There should be incubators and accelerators and for giving mentorship, networking and all. These institutions should be there. There will be failure and learning. Every startup will not be a success. They will face failure and then they will learn from it and become a successful startup. Exit strategies. Every startup will plan for exit. If it becomes a failure or if it becomes very successful, how we have to exit, how we are going to sell the company, whether through secondary market or through investor or through IPO, how we are going to do it, that they will plan. Technology focus. They will be operating in a tech-driven field like IT or something. Startups will be more in that type of field. There will be culture, values and leadership separately for those startups. There will be creativity and collaboration in the startups. In entrepreneurship, startups bring fresh ideas. They bring new solutions and this will increase consumerism, positively influence the market dynamics. These are some startups in the global world and Indian startups are also given. You can read this. Next thing is evolution of entrepreneurship. They are giving the history of entrepreneurship. Here shortly what are they saying is that first there was barter system, only exchange of goods was there. After that they got agriculture skill development. Agriculture got developed and people started doing mass agriculture. After that for trading, people started trading, buying and selling. In that the birth of entrepreneurship started. That is what they are saying. Transportation facilitated the growth of entrepreneurship. Because of transportation development, entrepreneurship grew very well. Here they are giving that barter was there first, then we got money. For managing that money, we got monetary system, and then for keeping that money safe, we are approaching the bank. This is the short thing they are telling. Next thing is they are telling about the industrial revolution. There are many types of industrial revolution. First industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, like that. Everything is explained in detail. First thing is what is an industrial revolution? It is the shift from agriculture to industry. It enabled the first factories and many mass production happened only after the industrial revolution. Many products which once took days or weeks to manufacture can now be produced in a matter of hours or minutes. Every product can be produced very quickly. It was very important for innovation. Here I have given a summary of the industrial revolution types. We are going to see this from this chart only. First industrial revolution, it was during this period. You need not remember this period, just I am showing you. It happened in the 18th and 19th century. In the first industrial revolution, machines were developed which reduced the need for human labor. Human labor was reduced for requirement. The next thing is first factories were invented. Mass production happened and first factories were built. Steam engines and coal extraction were the main inventions and breakthrough in the first industrial revolution. Next thing is railroads were implemented everywhere and railroads were put everywhere. So first mass production of textiles happened in the first industrial revolution. Machines, factories, railroads, coal extraction, first mass production of textiles. Second industrial revolution, they discovered the new energy resources like electricity, gas, iron. They discovered in the second industrial revolution. There was mass production of steel and iron. Steel and iron was very substantially produced during this period. There was advancement in communication by telegraph and spread of ideas was very easy. And then transportation. Transportation was advanced because of the automobiles invention. It was the most important industrial revolution. This is an important point. It may be asked in the exam. Next thing is they accumulated wealth by mass production. The entrepreneurs did mass production and acquired wealth. Third industrial revolution is 1950 to 1990. In this, the main inventions were computers and electronics, internet, nuclear energy. In this industrial revolution, there was digital technology and then sale to mass population by MNC companies were started in this period. Fourth industrial revolution means we are living in it. Interconnected technology and renewable energy are the main focus points here. Connected devices, digital transformation, data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning are the most important field in the fourth industrial revolution. There will be a focus on innovation and automation, and then the main focus is on reducing the carbon footprint, and then global warming. It is a very big problem here. This is the summary of the industrial revolutions. The next thing is we are going to see about types of entrepreneurs. For the types of entrepreneurs also I have given a chart. We can read it from there. First thing is innovative entrepreneur. Innovation means bringing something new to the market. Either it is a new way of doing business or it is a new product altogether. Completely new products and ideas will be here. The innovative entrepreneur will be problem solver. They will be solving a problem which is existing in the society. They will be constantly looking for betterment. They will be always looking for development and betterment. New technology, tools and strategies will be invented by them. They will bring disruptive changes to the market. Example, Zomato. Earlier there was traditional restaurants. Now because of Zomato, their restaurants are depending on Zomato for getting their orders. This is a disruptive change. Next thing is imitative entrepreneur. They will follow the successful model in the industry. For innovative entrepreneur, you can think it like Apple company. It brings new innovations like removing the charger. And imitative entrepreneurs are like other Chinese companies and Korean companies. Once Apple removed the charger, all the Chinese companies also they started removing the charger. So they will follow the successful model. Samsung will follow Apple. Do not take risk. They will not take risk by doing new innovations. They will replicate already proven model. Already some innovative entrepreneur will bring a new feature and prove it. That model they will adopt. Improve existing ideas and scalability. There will be already an idea will be there. They will be taking it and they will be doing it in a mass production. What is their role? They will be making innovative products accessible to a wider audience. Innovation will be started by Apple. After doing that, the innovation will be costly when done by Apple. The Chinese companies will replicate it and sell it for a cheaper rate. Valuable and viable path. This is also a very viable path for entrepreneurs, mostly found in developing countries. In developed countries like America, Apple will make innovation because they have more capital for research. In developing countries like China and India, the proven model in America will be copied and it will be replicated and sold for a cheaper price. Social entrepreneurs. They will be focusing on societal change and societal challenges. They will be working for uplifting the marginalized communities. They will be working for environmental issues. They will be protesting for cultural and community issues. For these things they are working. Their main areas of focus will be poverty, education, environment and healthcare in India. Examples are two people examples they have given. Their story is given in book. You can read it if you want. Women entrepreneurs. Female entrepreneurs will be working in diverse sectors. They will be breaking the traditional barriers. They will be facing some unique challenges. They will be reshaping the gender norms. They will be working for diversity, empowerment and equality. They have given some examples of women entrepreneurs. Then next thing is corporate entrepreneurs, that is intrapreneurs. They will be persons who have entrepreneurial quality within individuals inside a company. There will be people, employees working inside the companies. They will also have some entrepreneurial skills. They are called intrapreneur. Their features are they will take new initiatives and bring new things. They will be taking risk according to their scope within the organization. They will be very resourceful and productive. What are the benefits to companies because of this corporate entrepreneur? Adaptability. They will bring new changes and help the company adapt to the market. Long-term vision. These people will have long-term vision. They will help the company also to achieve the long-term vision. Competitiveness. Because of this innovation, the company will be competitive in the market. It will be competitive and compared to other people in the other industry, other companies in the market. Resilience. This is also a main trait of entrepreneur which will be helping the companies. These are three examples for corporate entrepreneurship, intrapreneurs. Resilience means ability to get back up from failures easily. They will be continuously learning from failure. They will not get demotivated by failure. They will be continuously learning and improving based on the failures. The next thing is, in India, government is bringing Startup India like that schemes they are bringing to promote entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is very developed because of digitalization and internet is very useful for entrepreneurship. Innovation, job creation and economic growth. These are the benefits if we have more startups and entrepreneurs. Role of entrepreneurship and startup in economic development. Why we want entrepreneurs? How they are helping in economic development? That is what given here. Economic growth and innovation. If there are more startups, they will be bringing more innovation and because of that economic growth will be there. Like Flipkart and Zomato, Apple and Google, they will bring innovation. Job creation and employment. If there are more companies, more people will get employment opportunities. Technological advancement and global competitiveness. If we have more innovation, we will be competitive in the global arena. When compared to other countries, we will be a little bit advantageous. Diversification of the economy. If we have more startups in a diverse number of sectors, we will not be depending on single sector. So there will be a diversification. We will be having more income streams. Different sectors will be developing. Foreign direct investment. Because of this startups and innovation, there will be more investment from foreign. Social impact and inclusive development. It will also help in the social development. India has seen a steady increase in the FDI inflow. In these sectors, we have a steady increase in the FDI inflow. Foreign investors are investing mainly in these areas. The next thing is rise of startups global perspective. In a global level, startups are very important. US maintains first position in the total startup output. Total number of startups and their output is very high in the United States. And then when ranking based on population size, US's score, the mark of US based on startups is 4 times higher than that of the second ranked country. It is very developed in the startup industry. Even though China and India have same population, for example, if India has 100 startups, China has 200 startups. That is a very big difference. The next thing is startups, what they are doing, they are bringing a proactive and risk-taking mindset. They are encouraging people to take risk and do some business. They are telling that disruptive ideas can lead to success. Success stories like Flipkart and Amazon and Google and Apple have inspired youngsters to take up innovation and startups. Here they have given some global startups. Tesla was founded by Elon Musk. It was for sustainable transportation and energy solutions. Their main advantage are they are operating in EV market. They have a big, very advanced battery technology. They are focusing on automatic driving. Their business strategy is vertical integration. Vertical integration means from the start of the manufacturing up to the delivery to the customer, everything will be managed by the Tesla itself. Uber is working in the transportation industry. They are bringing a disruptive change. Their main strategy is rapid expansion and the diversification. Airbnb is working in the hotel accommodation industry. It is giving customers rent lodging and unique travel experiences. It is helping customers to book hotels if they are going outside to stay. Stripe is a payment platform. It provides payment services for e-commerce and subscriptions. Palantir Technologies. They are a company which is working on data analytics and decision-making processes. They are helping to build business intelligence software. SpaceX. It is also founded by Elon Musk. They are working in commercial space exploration. They are working for cost reduction. If you want to go to space, it will be very costly, but they are working on reducing the cost. They are helping on capturing of Mars by the human beings. For colonizing Mars also, SpaceX is helping. Zoom video communication. It was very important during the COVID-19 lockdown period. There was remote work. They will be helping for virtual collaboration. We can collaborate by the online platforms itself. It will be helping for innovation also. Snap Incorporation. Snap Incorporation is a social media platform. It is targeting youngsters. It has innovative features and it is a social media application. The next thing is DoorDash. DoorDash is a delivery network which has partnership with restaurants, same like Swiggy, Zomato. DD Chuxing. It is the Uber's opponent in the transportation industry. The next thing is we have some Indian startups. Flipkart is an online retail platform. We can buy products from there. It adopted a customer-centric approach. It was acquired by Walmart. These are the important points of Flipkart. Paytm is a mobile payment platform. It also works in digital banking. It is helping in e-commerce, financial services. It is leveraging technology for financial inclusion. They are using technology in the financial field. Ola is the new age transport. It brings innovation for and disrupted the traditional transportation field. Zomato, as I already said, it is a food delivery app. Zerodha is a retail stockbroker. It has only online presence. It will be having helping the people to do equity investment in the stock exchange. Next thing is Voyo Rooms. They are working in the accommodation industry. It is a hospitality startups. They are known for budget hotels and quality will be very high in Voyo. Like that it is given. Swiggy is also a food delivery platform. Udaan is a B2B e-commerce platform. You are selling from one business to another business. It will be through online. They are helping in the supply chain by smoothing the transition flow from the manufacturer to the customer. The product will be easily moving. Razorpay is a payment solution platform. It is a digital payment gateway which is helping merchants to receive the payment easily. InMobi, it is a mobile advertising platform. They will be giving personalized ads to everyone. The next thing is being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, we need a vision. We need determination, adaptability, and we should take risk. Mukesh Ambani is an entrepreneur from Jio. He has resilience. Elon Musk, he has a visionary approach. He has very big goals and he has innovative thinking also. The next thing is 100 million businesses are launched annually. By this, what we can see is that everyone wants to make a startup and do a business. Here, what we can see is that 90% of the startups face failure. Only 10% become successful. The next thing is for entrepreneurship, we need a unique set of skills and qualities. The next thing is they are telling about the skills of an entrepreneur. For being an entrepreneur, what are the skills required? You should be having adaptability. Next thing, you should have leadership. Adaptability means you should adapt to the market and business environment. You should be making proper decisions. Leadership, you should be able to motivate, guide, and lead your team. Resilience, as I already said, it is the ability to get back up from failures. You will be repeatedly trying with continuous improvement, and successfully you will be doing your business. Decision making, you will be having a lot of decisions to make. You have to make informed decisions properly, which has benefit to the startup. Financial literacy, you should know about finance very well because you have to manage the business finances. You have to make budgets, gather investors, secure funding, everything you have to do. For that, you have to know about finance. Networking, you should be able to network with new people. Only if you know many people in the industry, you will be able to run a successful startup. If nobody knows about you, you cannot run the startup successfully. Innovativeness, you should have creative ideas which should be supported by new technology. You should bring unique solutions to the problems in market. And main thing is you should start differentiation. How you are different from the competitor, that you have to tell very clearly. This is very important. The next thing is the entrepreneur should have a creative and design thinking. He should be prioritizing empathy, ideation, and iteration. Empathy means thinking from the point of view of the customer. Ideation means you should bring new ideas. Iteration means continuous improvement. These all you have to do. Next thing is why we want creative and design thinking. Because you have to do user-centric innovation. You have to do innovation. It should be easy, suitable, and helpful for the customer. Problem solving and ideation. You should be seeing a problem in the society. You should solve it. For that solution, you have to bring an idea or a concept. Enhance the competitive advantage. When you have creative and design thinking, you will bring new innovations, which will bring you competitive advantage. It will bring you adaptability and resilience. As I already said, adaptability to market and resilience, get back up from failure. Then you should have critical thinking skills. You should objectively analyze the situation without any bias and then bring a rational conclusion. You should be able to solve complex issues and bring meaningful insights. You should be independent, competent, reflective. I have highlighted all the important words in this PDF. You can, after seeing this video, you can focus on those important words and read the PDF once. That will be enough for each and every chapter. After doing this for all the chapters, you can see the MCQs and question practice. For doing creative and design thinking, there are certain challenges. If you want to do creative and innovation, there will be a lot of resources which will be required. So you will not be having that much resources for a startup. Resistance to change. If you adopt a new methodology and all, the existing team will not cooperate very easily. You have to convince them for doing the new methods and innovation. Ambiguity in measurement. We cannot measure the monetary value of the idea or innovation. It will be very difficult when comparing with the traditional metrics. When you have the traditional metrics, it will not bring that much ratios, gross profit ratio, net profit ratio and all. But that idea will have potential. That is what they are telling here. The next thing is entrepreneurial decision making. You have to make decisions as an entrepreneur. You should make decisions as an informed decisions, and it should be agile. You should be quick in decision making. Decision making is the compass guiding startups through uncertainty. There is a huge uncertainty in the market. Whatever you are going to do, whether it will be successful or not, nobody knows. For that, you have to take proper decisions to make it successful. You should make innovation. It is a constant. Decision making becomes the catalyst. Innovation is very important. For making that innovation, you have to make various decisions. If you take the right decision, you will get successful very quickly. First thing is, for decision making, what you have to do, you have to follow certain steps. First thing is identifying the problem or opportunity. You have to identify the problem or the market opportunity which is there for your startup. Gathering information and analysis. For solving the problem, you are going to develop a solution. For that, you have to make research, gather information and analyze those information. Generating alternative. You have to create 2 to 3 solutions for each problem. Within that alternative, you have to choose which is giving the most efficiency, which is giving the most revenue. That you have to see. Feasibility, cost and potential impact. You have to evaluate these and select the best option. Implementation and monitoring. After making the decision, you have to implement it and monitor it. This is the 5 steps for decision making. The next thing is succession planning and managing family business. Very wealthy individuals and wealthy families, they will be passing on their wealth from generation to generation. How to do that properly? That is what they are telling here. It is very important for high net worth families. They are giving some examples for wealthy families. You can read it by yourself. I have highlighted the important keywords in this. For that, for smooth succession, for making that family succession planning properly, you have to do following steps. First thing is transparent communication and family governance. You have to make open communication with the family members. Professionalization of leadership. This is a very important point. Questions are being asked from this point in the exam. There should be a professional approach to leadership. You should give the leadership to the person who is capable. Not because he is your son or daughter, you should not give it to them. First thing is the capability and quality of the person. Whether he is able to lead the company or not, that you have to check. It will be helping for ensuring the business continued success. If you appoint a competent person, he will be able to run the business properly. You should bring mentorship and succession development programs. You should be conducting workshop and mentorship for the family members to understand about the business. Examples of poor succession planning. In some families, they did not do proper succession planning. Because of that, they got a lot of dispute. They have given some examples for that. You can read it by yourself. Now we are approaching the second part of the chapter, which is the startup registration. For startup registration, we have to go to a department called DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. It is operating under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Under that we have the DPIIT, and then under that we have the startup schemes. Startup India, those schemes are under DPIIT only. You have to register as a startup under the DPIIT department. You can register in the Startup India portal. The next thing is why we have to register. What are the benefits of registration? First thing is tax benefits. Startup, from 1st to 10 years of their existence, they will be starting a business, and from 1st to 10th year, within those 10 years, first 3 years you will get the tax concession. You will get tax exemption for 3 consecutive assessment year of their first 10 years. Self-certification compliance. If you are a startup registered in the DPIIT, you can make self-certification about, I am following the labor law, I am following the environmental law, that all I am properly following. Like that, you can give a self-certification. The next thing is innovation and patent support. If you are applying for patent as a startup, you will be having a reimbursement of the fees. They will give a refund of the fees that you paid for patent, and then they will examine your patent in a fast track manner. You will get the patent quickly. Access to government scheme. You can also access the government scheme for partnership, collaboration, that all you can go. Networking and collaboration also you can get with other startups which are registered under the DPIIT. If you are a startup, you can wind up operation within 90 days under the IBC. Faster government procurement. If you are a startup, you are selling your product to government, they will give you priority. Recognition and visibility. It will give credibility. Investment and funding. If you have credibility, people will invest in you. Skill development and training program also you can attend. For registering with DPIIT, what are the eligibility requirements? This is an important part where the questions can come in the exam. Entity type, it should be either a LLP or a private limited company or a registered partnership firm. Only these three entities are allowed. Age of the startups, it should be 1 to 10 years. Existence up to 10 years. It may be 0, it may be within 1 year also, but maximum it should be 10 years. Annual turnover should not exceed 100 crores. This point they can ask in exam. What is the annual turnover limit for startup registration at DPIIT? They will ask in the exam. Innovation and scalability. The problem you are solving, the startup idea, should have innovation. For that innovation, you should get a certification from the Interministerial Board, IMB, the Minister Board. They will give a certification that you are proper innovation. Then like that they will give certification. Recommendation letter. After that Interministerial Board certification, you should have a recommendation from the incubator registered in the postgraduate college. What is an incubator? We will be studying later. It is an institution which will be supporting the startup, and it will be in a postgraduate college. It will be in many places. One type of incubator, it will be in a postgraduate college. You should get a recommendation letter from such an incubator which is in a postgraduate college. If you do not have the letter of recommendation, there is an alternative. You can get a letter of funding of at least 20% in equity by any incubation fund, angel fund, private equity fund, or accelerator or angel network registered with SEBI. These are all investors. They will be investing and supporting the startup. These angel fund, private equity, accelerator, they will be registered with the SEBI. From such accelerator or incubator or angel network, you have to get a letter of funding. They are giving funding for you. At least 20% in equity is held by the angel investor. That letter you should bring. Either a recommendation letter or this letter of funding combined with the Interministerial Board certification. This and all are important points. Next thing is they have given some government initiative for startups in India. For startups in India, Startup India is an initiative. It was launched in 2016. It was started to promote innovation, entrepreneurship and job creation. In the Startup India scheme only, you have to register under DPIIT. For that one, you have to be a LLP, private limited company. You should be having turnover up to 100 crore. You will be getting tax exemptions. That and all under Startup India scheme only. You have to register under DPIIT. Stand Up India. It is also launched in 2016. It is for the upliftment and development of women, SC and ST people. They will be giving bank loan under this scheme. Startup India, they will be giving the registration and benefits they will be giving. In Stand Up India, they will be giving bank loan from 10 lakh to 1 crore. This amount they can ask in exam. You have to take a note of it. The next thing is Mudra loans, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. They will be giving bank loan to the micro enterprises, MSME sector. They will be giving loans. In the non-corporate small business sector, it should not be a company. The entity type should be other than company. It was launched in 2015. They are giving 3 types of loans. They are categorizing the business into Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. For Shishu business, they are giving funding up to 50k loan they are giving. For Kishore category business, they are giving 50k to 5 lakh loan. For Tarun, 5 lakh to 10 lakh loan they are giving under the Mudra scheme. Atal Innovation Mission. It was launched by Niti Aayog. We will be studying in detail about Niti Aayog later in the next chapters. It was launched for innovation and entrepreneurship. They are bringing 3 schemes under this Atal Innovation Mission. Atal Tinkering Lab, Atal Incubation Center, Atal New India Challenges. We will be learning in detail about these 3 in the later chapters. They are for creativity, problem solving skills, infrastructure, mentorship, that and all Atal Innovation Mission will give you. Make in India. It was launched in 2014. It will be promoting innovation and ease of doing business. They will be simplifying the regulations. They will make the regulatory procedures very easy so that people can do business easily. It is for transforming India into a global manufacturing hub. It will be boosting the job creation. It will be giving the economic growth. The points I have said here are very common. You will be finding these points only repeatedly in all the chapters. If you just understand the concept in a broad view and read these notes once after watching this class, it will be very easy for you to retain the concepts and the keywords. This is the end of first chapter. Now we are going to see the second chapter. Second chapter is about crafting a business model and lean startups. We will be seeing what is a business model and how to build a lean startups. First thing, here we have they are giving that startups have an intention to grow large. They have an intention to grow very large like Amazon, Google and Apple. They will have such high goals. Only a minority of startups become successful. The next thing is understanding business model. What is a business model? Business model is a very brief thing. It will be in a very detailed manner. It will have value creation and value delivery to the customer. How you are giving value to the customer? What is the process you are following? That will be there in the business model. They will be telling the core logic and the structure of the organization. What is the core logic upon which your organization is operating? They will be telling the revenue generation strategy. How revenue will come to your business? That also will be there. Building this is called the business model innovation. They will be asking what is business model innovation? Building a business model which creates value, has the revenue generation capacity, everything is there. That is called business model innovation. The next thing is market validation process. What is market validation process? You have an idea, but you have to prove to the market that your idea is successful, it has potential, that you have to validate, you have to prove to the market. Only then you can get a recognition. For that you have to do three things. First thing is problem interview. You have to understand the problem what is there in the society, which you are going to solve. Second thing is solution interview. Prepare a solution for the same. Third thing is minimum viable product. Create a prototype to show the working of what you are going to do, how you will solve the problem. If you are doing it just with theory, it will not be helpful. If you are creating a prototype, it will be helpful in a practical manner. We will be seeing later about the prototype in a very detailed manner. Next thing is what is a business plan. Business plan will be telling what to do in business, when to do in business. That and all will be given in a detailed manner in the business plan. It will show you the first 1 to 3 years of business strategy. How you are going to operate the business first 3 years. That will be there. The next thing is business model innovation is how one's business makes money. In business model, these questions should be answered properly. What is the problem you are going to solve? What is the innovation you are going to bring? What is the financial viability of the project? What is the cost you are going to incur? Who are your target customer? Whether you can expand this business? Whether it can be effectively marketed? Whether the customer will purchase this? How you will get the revenue? What is the sales and distribution strategy? Everything should be there in the business model. It is just a template for conducting the business. The things which you will be operating, you are giving it in a documented form. The next thing you have to do is you have to achieve a product market fit. You should do the unique value proposition. You should gain the competitive advantage. These are all the next work after developing the business model. The next thing is general business model. In the general business model, we have 3 types. We have 4 types. Business to business, business to consumer, direct to consumer, and then consumer to consumer. In the traditional supply chain, this is the process. Manufacturer, he will sell to wholesaler, then retailer, then customer. In this, the manufacturer to wholesaler, both are business. So it is a B2B business model. Here, retailer is a business, but customer is a consumer. So it will be a B2C business model. B means business, C means consumer. This is the business models. Next thing is direct to consumer. It is a new age channel. In this, directly the manufacturer will sell to the customer. Here it is called D2C because direct to customer. This is the new age business model. Next thing is we have another business model, consumer to consumer. Like Ola and Quicker, we can sell the products ourselves from one consumer to another consumer. One consumer will be selling to another consumer using online platform. These are the short summary of these things. The same thing is given in paragraph format here. I have highlighted the important words with examples they have given. That is why it is given in this much big paragraph form. You can read this if you want. The main concept you have to understand is these four things are traditional business model. The next thing is modern business model. What are the modern business model? In the old model, there will be hierarchical structure, like I showed you: manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and then customer. There will be rigid process. But in the new age business model, there will be flexibility, innovation, and adaptability. That and all will be there. They will be using technology, data, and connectivity for making the sale. Modern business model, I have given a chart here. We will be reading the types of modern business model from this chart only. The first type of business model what we are going to see is a subscription based model. In the subscription based model, you have to pay regularly for continuous access. If you want to watch regularly the Netflix or Amazon Prime, you have to pay regularly. You should be having a membership. You will be having a membership with ongoing benefits. The company will be offering you ongoing value, and building loyalty is very important here. Example, Netflix and Adobe. Advantages: steady income to the companies. You will be paying the subscription every month. It will be a steady income for the companies. The next thing we are going to see is sharing economy model. In the sharing economy model, there will be individuals who will be sharing resources. Whatever the spare things they have, spare room or spare bike or spare scooty, they will be renting it, or they will be using their skills. So for freelancing work, people will be working by connecting with people. It is also called as collaborative or gig economy. Individuals will share resources directly through digital platform. Advantage are efficient usage of assets, and there will be cost-effective alternative. Many people will be giving the same service. You can choose the one with the low cost. You can enter the market with minimal investment. If you have a spare room or spare vehicle, you can rent it. This is the example for sharing economy model. Next thing is e-commerce model. In e-commerce model, business will be selling the products online. There will be no need for physical stores and all. It will be very convenient for the customer. They have to do innovation in logistics, and secure transaction should be there. If you are making payment to Amazon, it will be secure. The next thing is e-commerce transactions platforms handle transaction directly. If you make the payment, it will be directly going to the Amazon. Example, Amazon, Flipkart. The next type of economy is direct to consumer model. As we already said, they will not rely on any intermediary, directly manufacturer to consumer. The manufacturer will have greater control over brand image, customer experience, data and all. Manufacturer itself they can obtain. Advantages: they will have personalized connection with the consumer, they can bypass the traditional channel, they can reach the target audience more effectively. The next thing is aggregator model. Aggregator model is example Ola, Swiggy. They are connecting the restaurant and the consumer. They are an online market platform. Using technology, they can create a digital marketplace. In that marketplace, what is the benefit for buyer? They will have a lot of restaurant option. For seller, what is the advantage? They will reach a wider audience. Everyone will be using the application of Swiggy. You will connect the multiple sellers and various buyers. The next type of model is freemium model. In the freemium model, there will be free plus premium offerings. For example, if there is an app, it will give you free some basic features for free of cost. And for more advanced features, you have to pay money. This is the model here. Taste is shown to consumers at no cost. And after seeing the features, the customer will pay money if he wants the premium features. This is the types of business model in a short manner. These are all the main keywords which you have to keep in mind. The next thing is, we are going to see about bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means it is a way of funding the startup. If you want funding for the startup, you can follow bootstrapping. What is bootstrapping? You will be taking the initial investment from personal resources. For example, if a person is starting a startup, he will use his own personal savings to start the startup. It is called as self-financing also. You will have full ownership over the business. You will have the full decision-making authority. For that, you have to have financial discipline and resilience. Zerodha is a startup which we saw earlier in the first chapter, which was started by bootstrapping. They had only minimum external funding for starting Zerodha. The next thing is value proposition. We are going to see what is a value proposition, how we can find a good value proposition. Value proposition means it is a way of communicating what value you are giving to the customers. If the customers buy your product, what will they get? How your product will help the customer? That you should tell it very clearly. That is called the value proposition. Here you have to say very importantly how the service solves your problem or how it makes your life better. That you have to tell. Simply it is the tagline of the brand to attract the audience. It is also called as unique selling proposition or USP. For example, in Swiggy, the main value proposition is the deliciously fast. By this deliciously fast tagline, what you are understanding? It will be very fast delivery and the food will be delicious. Both the items are very clearly conveyed. This is the example of a good value proposition. For having a good value proposition, you should have three things. Customer relevance. The product should be useful to the customer. Unique differentiation. In your field itself, there will be many companies. How you are different from the other companies? That you have to tell very clearly. Clear communication. Whatever you are telling, tell it clearly. Avoid complex terms and difficult jargon for understanding. The next thing is, for a strong value proposition, what all should be there? You should be preparing it according to the audience. Then you should tell the unique benefit. If you purchase my product, these are all the unique benefit which you cannot get from the competitor product. Clarity is the key. Be very clear. Highly tangible result. If there is any result by using your product, showcase the result. Test and refine. If you are using a value proposition, if it is working, develop it more. If it is not working, rectify the proposition. Business model canvas. It is the business model canvas. What is the business model? We saw already. What are all the elements which should be in the business model? That is given by the business model canvas. And one more thing we forgot to see, the challenges in building a strong value proposition. If you want to build a strong value proposition, these are all the problems in it. First thing is identifying the real potential customer. You have to find the target customer very carefully. You have to understand the pains and desire. What are all the problem of the customer? That you should understand. Easy replication by the competitors. If you are telling a value proposition and your uniqueness, it should not be easily replicated by the competitor. It should be difficult for imitating. Communicating the message right. It should be a simple message. There should be enough information. Do not overcomplicate it. Avoid the complexity. Adaptability to market changes. You have to update it over time. Do not make it stagnant. Make changes frequently so that it will be easy for the consumer and relevant to the market. The next thing is building and analyzing business model. We are going to see the after-Walder's business model canvas. What are the elements to be covered in the business model? First thing is customer segment. In your business model, these things you have to tell very clearly. Who are your target customer? The next thing is unique value proposition. You have to tell it very clearly. What value you are going to the customer? How it will be helping the customer? What is your uniqueness in that? These are all the things which you have to tell very clearly in the business model. Distribution channel. How you will reach the customer? What will be the distribution strategy, sales and marketing strategy? That you should tell. Then customer relationship. What will be the type of customer relationship which you will be having? Whether people will give personalized contact or you will be having automated AI voice generated response centers for customers. That relationship management also you should be concentrating. The next thing is income sources. For your business, from where and all you will get the income? By selling the product, by making maintenance services, by selling some subsidiary product. That all you should tell very clearly. The next thing is important, resource management. What are all the critical assets and resources? Without these assets, I cannot run the business. Those type of assets, you have to make a list and you have to use those in an optimal manner. You should be using it in a very efficient manner. The next thing is key activities. What are the main key actions in your operations? What are all the main things you have to do in the business? That you have to tell. Then key partnership. What are all the important entities, whether it may be your supplier or it may be your major customer, with those entities you have to make a strategic partnership. Because of that partnership, you can get better deals, better repayment period and all you can get. The next thing is cost structure. You should be telling the cost management. What are all the costs you will be incurring, how you will manage those. That also you should tell in the business model. These are all the 9 important things which you should cover to the basic level, even in your basic business model. This should be compulsorily present in your business model. The next thing is testing and validating the business model. After creating the business model, how you will test it? First thing is you have to see the market research and customer feedback. You have to make the market research whether your business model is correct or not. For understanding the target customer, you have to make the research. The next thing is you have to develop a minimum viable product. It is a simplified version, like a prototype you can understand. It is a MVP which you will be preparing first and then you will be preparing the final product. We will be seeing about this in detail in the next chapter. Pilot testing and prototyping. You should create prototypes and test it for further improvement. Financial modeling and analysis. You should create financial projections for forecasting the business financial what we can say status and health. The next thing is seeking feedback. After creating the business model, show it to other people and get feedback about the business model. That are all the main things which you have to do for testing the business model. The next thing is what are all the common mistakes to avoid when developing a business model. First thing is you should do proper research. Without proper research, business model will not be correct. Ignoring customer feedback. You have to take into consideration the feedback of the customer. Otherwise, the product will not match the customer expectation. Overlooking scalability. If you are preparing a business model, it should be able to expand. If you are getting demand, you should be able to expand to other branches, other cities, other countries also. You should make a provision for expanding the business. The next thing is you should not underestimate the financial planning. You should make proper financial planning. Lack of flexibility. You should not be very rigid. You should be able to make changes if it is required. Poor resource allocation. Resource allocation also you should do properly. If you are doing it in an inefficient manner, it will be leading to wastage of resources. The next thing we are going to see is about lean startup. What is a lean startup? Lean startup means whether it is a lean company, lean business model or lean startup, the main thing is there should be no wastage of the resources. If there is wastage of resources, then it is not a lean startup. You should avoid the wastage. That is the main point here. First thing is what they are saying is you have to create a minimum viable product in the lean startup. After creating that minimum viable product, you have to launch it, communicate with the customers, get feedback and improve on the minimum viable product. The next thing is you have to save the resources. Time and money is very valuable for a startup. They have only limited resources. You have to save them. You should not waste those. This is what they are telling. The next thing is real life lean startup cases. They are giving 4 examples for real life lean startups. How these companies adopted the lean startup methodology and achieved success. You can read this by yourself. It is very easy. I have also highlighted the important points. The next thing is business pitching. What is business pitching? It is a presentation which is designed to persuade an audience. You are going to influence the audience to do certain work for you. If you are pitching for investor, you will be influencing the investor for securing funding. If you are doing it to the customer, you are influencing the customer to buy the product from you. It will be for communicating the unique value proposition. It is a communication tool. In this, there are different stages. Introduction of a pitch deck or pitching should be with a compelling introduction. You should clearly state the problem which you are going to solve. Value proposition, as I already said, what is the problem of the customer, how you are going to solve it, how it is important for the customer, how you will be getting the revenue, that and all you should be telling very clearly. Market opportunity also, what is the market opportunity for your business, tell it very clearly. The next thing is business model. The 9 segments which we saw in the afterward of business model canvas, that also you should tell very clearly. Execution plan, how you will be achieving the milestone or the progress, that also you should tell step by step. Financial projections, you should be showing the financial metrics. In 1 year we will be achieving this much revenue, in 2 years we will be having this much customer, that and all you have to show with numbers. The next thing is competitive landscape. Who are your competitors, how you are going to tackle it, what are their weaknesses, what are your strong points, that and all you should tell. Call to action. After seeing this presentation, what the audience should do, whether they should buy your product or make investment in your startup, that clear call to action should be there. Types of business pitch. In types of business pitch, there are different types of pitches. I have created a summary table for the business pitch. First type is elevator pitch. In elevator pitch, there will be no specific target audience. The main purpose is you have to bring the interest and curiosity in the audience within 30 seconds to 2 minutes. You will have only 30 seconds to 2 minutes of time for an elevator pitch. In that elevator pitch, you have to bring the interest in the heart of the audience. Next thing is investor pitch. The target audience are investors. Their motive should be securing funding. You should convince them to put funding into your business. You should be focusing on the return on investment. In this investor pitch, you should show the detailed financial projections and market analysis. You have to show it. Sales pitch, you are doing it for the potential customer. You should be telling the unique value proposition, how the product will be helping the customer. That you have to tell. Next thing is partnership pitch. It is for the partners. Whether the important supplier or important customer, you are making a partnership with the organization. You should be telling the mutual benefit and the shared goals and synergies. What will be the benefit if we are working together? That you have to tell. Then next thing is product pitch. It is not specifically for the customer, but for the entire society you are creating it. For that, what are the main things? You have to showcase the features of the product and benefits of the product. Like you will be knowing about Steve Jobs, Apple CEO, former Apple CEO. You will be seeing his product pitches. He will be introducing the product to a larger audience. That is the example of product pitch. You should create excitement around the USP of the product. It should be very clear about the selling proposition of the product, and people will be excited about it. That is what the main purpose of product pitch. This is the end of second chapter. These are all the things which we saw in the second chapter. You can read the notes after watching this class for knowing the concepts, for understanding the concepts and retaining the keywords. Chapter 3, product development. So let us get into the topic. In this chapter, what we are first going to see about is product development. What is product development? In product development, we will be having a startup. That startup will have an idea about a product or a customer problem. They will have an idea. How that idea is transformed into a product which can be given to customers. That is the entire process which we are going to study in this chapter. Product development is very difficult for startups because they have only a little bit of resources. Product development is turning a concept into a market-ready offering. We have to start a viable product first. Only then we can achieve the final stage of the product development. First, we have to create a minimum viable product. Only then we can make a mass production of the product and then sell it to the consumers. What is a minimum viable product? Minimum viable product is a prototype. We can understand it like a prototype. It is a scaled down version of the main product. You will be offering to customers a product which will be having various features and various functionalities. But the minimum viable product is the first version of the product. It will have only less number of features, but what they will focus is the working experience, how it is happening, whether the product outcome is coming right or not. It will be giving the main user experience only. Other things, features, functionalities, everything we will be adding later. First thing is the basic version of the product is called minimum viable product. The next thing is it will be given to early adopted customers. Like in Play Store, we will be getting beta version of the app. That is the minimum viable product. It will be given to customers. They will give feedback and then it will be improved based on the feedback. First, for building MVP, we have to identify the core value proposition, what you are going to give to the customers. And then you have to create a prototype based on the need of the customer. And then after preparing the MVP, give it to the customer, he will use it. After using it, he will give the feedback. Based on that feedback, you have to improve the product. That is the last step. And then for preparing MVP, what are all the main things you have to focus for first time entrepreneurs? If you are starting a business for the first time, these are the things you have to keep in mind. Focus on core functionality. You need to have only the key features. Avoid unnecessary complexities. And then rapid iteration. There should be continuous improvement. You should gather the feedback from the users and improve it rapidly. You should not go slowly because you need to launch a main product quickly. So you have to make continuous improvement quickly. Lean mindset. You should not waste resources. There should be minimum wastage of resources and you should operate in a very efficient manner. User-centric design. The app or whatever the thing you are doing, it should be user-centric. The user should be able to understand and use it easily. Scalability. If you are building that minimum viable product and you have to transform it into the final product which you are going to offer to the consumers, there should not be any major shift in the cycle. You should be making it in the same process as you will be making it the final product. It should be very easy to expand. There should not be any major expenditure for expanding into a mass scale production. You should give provision for mass production also. Examples of MVP. They have given different brand examples. What are their motives? What is the motive of the brand? And then what is their MVP? And then how they changed into their final product. As I already said, MVP will be a basic version. It will have only some features. Final product will have a lot of features and exclusive many facilities will be added. This is given a lot of examples. This chapter also contains a lot of examples. After I say the concept, you can go to the notes and you can read the concepts twice or thrice if you want to understand the concept better. Otherwise, if you read the example once by reading these keywords, that will be enough for understanding the concept. The next thing is product market fit. First, we saw that we have to develop a minimum viable product. Then we have to develop the final product. And this final product, what we will be doing, we will be giving it to consumers. This only the consumers will be purchasing. This will be mass produced and we will be doing sales and marketing and all. So, this final product is proper or not. That is what we are checking. For that, the product must achieve one condition. That is the product market fit. The product must be very properly fitting into the market. If it does not fit into the market, we cannot achieve sales, we cannot grow. So what is product market fit? The final product, we will be developing the final product based on our assumptions and user feedback, whether it is matching with the market expectation. The market customer will have certain expectation. This and all the product should incorporate and should satisfy my needs. Whether these needs are satisfied, the final product is matching the expectation of the market. That is only we are measuring in the product market fit. If the product matches the expectation, then it will be a very good thing for the startup. Many people will purchase, the sales will be growing, customer demand will rise, you will become a market leader. So this is a very sweet spot where the product will align with the market's desire and demand, leading to organic growth. What will be the indicator for product market fit? Rapid user adoption. Many people will use the product. Positive feedback will come. Retention rate. Customer will not move away to other products. Growing demand will be there without any marketing effort. You will not be doing very much marketing, but the user demand will be growing. These are the indicators. And then it is a foundation for sustainable growth. The product market fit is not an achievement, it is the foundation upon which you have to build your startup. Reduce the marketing cost. If your product achieves the product market fit, it is the meaning is that it is solving the need of the consumer. If it is solving the need of the consumer will automatically buy it without any marketing. So you need not incur a marketing cost for a very good achieving product market fit product. Increase the valuation and investor confidence. If your product achieves the product market fit, your startup valuation will increase. Investor will be confident to give money to you. Competitive advantage. If you have a product market fit, what are the advantage? First thing is you will have more customers. Second thing is your brand will have a recognition in the market. Then you have to innovate and differentiate. Your product will be standing separately when comparing with the competitor. You will become market leader. And then you have to focus on resources that truly matter. What are all the important things in the product that you have to focus? Next thing is, for finding the product market fit, what you have to do? You have to understand the customer. You have to prepare the product as per their needs. You have to make continuous improvement. Again, you have to focus on the core value you are giving to the customer. And then measure and analyze metrics. You have to find the user metrics, user engagement, whether the user is having it easier and interesting to use the product. Conversion rate, how many people are converting into your product, whether the customer is satisfied by your product. These are all the key performance indicators with which you can measure whether the product market fit is achieved or not. Next thing is product market fit. We've understood what is the meaning. How to find it is meeting the product market fit or not. What are the challenges in it? That only we are going to see. What are the challenges are that? Assumption misalignment. You will be testing the product based on some assumption, but the market will have different expectation. In this case, your product will not match with the expectation. You will not achieve the product market fit. Premature scaling. Scaling means expanding your business. For example, if you are operating in one city, scaling means you will be expanding your branches to other cities also. You have to scale, you have to expand only when it is needed. Only if you have a growing demand and that much a threshold demand, then only you have to expand. If you expand without sufficient demand, there will be low sales and you have to incur increased operating cost. For that, you will not have revenue to match the cost. So it will result in a loss for the startup. Due to this reason, 90% of the startups are failing. Premature scaling is a very big problem in startups. And then inadequate customer feedback. If the customer is not giving feedback, you cannot improve the product. If you do not improve the product, it will not be in the market expectation. Competitive dynamic. You will have a lot of competition from the existing players, from the new entrant. You will have a lot of competition. You have to use the Porter's 5 force model to tackle the competition. Next thing is, they have given examples of failed and successful product market fit. What are the certain brands, whether they have achieved the product market fit or not? If they achieved, what are the reasons that they achieved? If they have failed, what are the reasons for their failure? It is given in a very detailed manner. Snapdeal did a rapid and unfocused expansion. The point we saw earlier, premature scaling. That is the problem here. Stagezilla, it changed its domain. Earlier it was doing hotel bookings, then it focused on homestays. But it did not make a proper value proposition. It did not communicate to the customer its shift. So it is a problem for the startup. So it failed. Move Sigma's diversification challenges. It started as a data analytics company. It did not make a value proposition properly. So it failed. Google Glass. Google Glass is a augmented reality headset. It was a prototype. It did not get market acceptance because of privacy concerns. This is also a problem. And then what are the successful product market fit? Bharat Pay, because it simplified the digital payment. Udaan, because it is an e-commerce platform for business-to-business transaction. It digitized the supply chain, helping the merchants. Meesho is an online platform like Amazon and Flipkart, social commerce platform. It helped the individuals who are looking for supplementary income opportunities. For side income, people are using Meesho. The next thing is minimum viable product. We saw it is a basic prototype, and then product market fit is the final product which matches with the consumer expectation. How you have to travel from MVP to PMF? What is the journey? That is what we are going to see here. They are giving hypothetical case study. 2 case studies they are giving for understanding the journey. First thing is we have an yarana.io. It is a app or something platform, digital platform for nurturing the student collaboration. In college and schools and all, the students need to collaborate, work together, communicate, work together in projects. For that purpose, they are creating a platform. Here, first thing is they are creating a MVP, minimum viable product. It is a basic MVP. They are giving it to a small number of users, and from that user they are getting feedback and quickly they are improving. Iteration means continuous improvement. You are refining it step by step. That is called iteration. The simple thing is feedback and continuous improvement. They are doing. What are the challenges? Limited initial user engagement. Users are not finding it interesting. And then they are asking features like messaging. Okay. Second phase, what they are doing is they are making the first improvement. They are making real-time messaging feature they are bringing, project space they are bringing, dashboard they are bringing, they are giving it to wider audience. Now, the next type of challenge what they are getting, technical glitch there is there. And then they wanted better onboarding to improve user adoption. They wanted better interface like that. Now, what they are doing for those problems, they are creating workshop for how to use the platform. They are educating the students, and then gamification elements like polls, quizzes and all they are adding. So, by this they are increasing the user satisfaction. What is the success? Users are finding it interesting. The platform is used by many users now. Next thing is, after this success, how they are achieving the product market fit. Now, after these improvements, all the students are using it. They are using it to organize event. They are using it. It became an integral part of student life. All the students are using it. So, it achieved the product market fit. Now, what is the success? High user retention. Users are not switching into other products. Recognition as an essential tool. People are finding it as a very useful and important tool. Okay, this is the story of yarana.io. It achieved the product market fit by using the continuous improvement, which is an important step in a startup. The next thing is they are giving Dunzo, real life example they are giving. They are building a minimum viable product to achieving the product market fit. That journey they are telling here. What is their main motive? To address the urban living challenges by offering a hyper-local delivery service. They will give you food delivery like that. The delivery service they are giving. First thing, MVP what they build. What is their MVP? They have created a platform which allowed the users to outsource their daily task. Their daily task like picking up grocery, that and all, they are giving some personal assistant for that work. What is the challenge? They are not getting enough users and they are getting operational challenges. Now what they are doing? Continual development. They are including food delivery, pharmacy pickup, everything they are doing. The model is that if you have a problem, you have to go to pharmacy and buy some medicine. You can book in the Dunzo app. One personal assistant will come. He will buy the groceries, pharmacies, medicine, everything and will deliver it to your doorstep. This is the business model. Here, what are the challenges? Many competition is there in the delivery space. And then they have to expand, but they should not compromise on the service quality. This is the two problems. The main motive is to make it user friendly. The platform should be user friendly. Only then the people will use it. Next, what they are doing, they are making a user centric approach. They are watching what the users want, what the customers expect. According to that, they are designing the platform. What is the success? The users are finding it very useful and interesting. Word of mouth marketing is going to happen. People are finding it useful and recommending it to other people. Now, product market fit is achieved. What are the successes achieved? Use high user retention. This is a key performance indicator, as I said already. If you have achieved the product market fit, this should be an indicator. Users are not switching to other products. Expansion you are doing. This they have achieved by using the continuous development, iterative and adaptive nature. Okay, now we have another real life case study. Razorpay. Razorpay was mission to simplify the online payment. What are the problem? There was no market awareness about online payment. Technical glitches was very high. Now what they are doing? Developing. After developing, what they have another challenge? Intense competition. And then people do not trust online transaction. That also is a very big problem in the people mindset. Now what they are doing? They are making a user-centric approach. They are understanding what are the pain point of the customer. Here, for digital payment platform, the customer is the business. They are using this payment platform for receiving payment from the customer. They are adopting user-centric approach. What is the success? They are seeing a surge in the merchant adoption. Many businesses are using this platform, and then it is becoming a trusted name. Brand recognition is coming. After that, they achieved a product market fit. What is the success? They have a high user satisfaction. They have a recognition. This is the success. Okay, this they have achieved by using a user-centric mindset. By these examples, what we are going to see, first thing is user-centric mindset is very important. Second thing, continuous improvement is important. Third thing, feedback we should take from the customer. And then third case study also it is there. Swiggy, their main business model is that they are understanding the hunger needs of the urban people. Urban people, they are living in cities. They have so much traffic. Because of that traffic, they are choosing to opt for delivery service. That is the main opportunity for Swiggy. The challenge are restaurants are not having partnership with Swiggy. Logistical complexity. Because of traffic jam, it is operationally a very big difficult task to deliver the food hot and fresh. It is one more problem. Then another challenge is that competition is very high. You have to balance quality along with expansion. These are all the problems. Now what they have done, they are also adopting user-centric approach. They are giving their focus is on efficient delivery, user delight. These are all they are focusing. What is the success? They have user retention. Many people are ordering. Daily order volumes is increasing. Brand is becoming synonymous with quick and reliable food delivery. People are saying that Swiggy is delivering properly. Like that people are saying. Then they achieved the product market fit. After achieving product market fit, what is the use? They have dominance in the food delivery market. Food delivery market, we know only two brands very popularly, Swiggy and Zomato. That is the success. And then hyper-local deliveries and essential services. Other deliveries like medicine delivery, grocery delivery, in that field also they are expanding. This is the journey of Swiggy. And then the next topic is, we first saw that what is a MVP. And then we saw that what is a product market fit, and then how to go. That journey we saw using 2-3 examples. Now what we are going to see that what method you are going to use to do that. We saw that continuous development we have to do. For the continuous improvement, what method you are going to choose? That is the main question here. Prototype and agile development are popular methods which are used to achieve the product market fit. So we have to understand what is a prototype, what is agile development, how we have to use it. Okay, prototype is more like a minimum viable product only. It is a prototype. You have to prepare that to make a working knowledge and a practical example of what you are trying to do. It results in a validation of the ideas. Earlier, the startups used to have only concepts. They have to make the investors understand the concept and invest the money. The investors find it difficult to find the practical applicability of those concepts. So we are getting a prototype. By building a prototype, what we are doing is we are showing the investors what we are going to do. We are showing an operating working example and model of our business. So investors will get more confidence and they will invest the money. This will communicate what you are trying to do. And then based on this prototype, you can get user feedback, whether it is nice or not, whether it needs improvement or it is bad, or you have to drop that idea. Like that, everything you can know from the prototype. Cost and time efficiency. If you find any major problem in the prototype, you can rectify it in the beginning stage itself. If you find it later on, it will be difficult to replace. Okay, they have given many examples for the what we can say prototypes that you can read it by yourself. The next thing is what is agile development. That is what we are going to see. Agile methodology, it is primarily used in the software development field. In software development, the client will give the requirement. This and all work I need to do. For that I need a software. The developer, what they will do, they will understand the requirement and prepare a software. This is the overall process in the software development. Here, what they are doing in agile development is that they are dividing the total number of things that they have to do in development. Creating an interface, adding features, testing, like that. All the activities they are listing out and they are dividing it into different phases. They are making it into different agile sprints. What is agile sprint? Agile sprint is a fixed time period. In that fixed time period, they will allocate this much task you have to complete. You have to complete doing the interface work within 2 weeks. Like that, they will give the fixed time period and the goals which you have to achieve. Within this fixed time period, you have to achieve that goal. Within this time period itself, the client will give some more extra requirement. They will tell to add this feature, remove this bug, you have to add this task bar. Like that, they will give many improvement and feedback. That also you have to complete and incorporate in this agile sprint itself. If you could not complete the improvement in the agile sprint, the customer is giving many very big modification, then you have to complete the existing sprint, and when the next sprint starts, you have to incorporate the changes. This is the agile development. You will be developing it based on different fixed time period. You will be developing, completing tasks one by one. The customer will give feedback. You are going to incorporate it. If it is a small feedback, small change, you will incorporate it in the existing sprint itself, existing time period itself. If it is a very big modification, you will be doing it in the next agile sprint. Next time period, you will be doing it. This is the overall concept and idea of agile methodology. So here, what they are telling is that agile development helps the startups to create MVP quickly. If they create MVP quickly, there is more time for the startup to get customer feedback and improvement. If you have more time for improvement, it is obviously a very good thing. Okay, where you have to use the prototype and agile development. The next thing we have to see is what are the use cases of prototyping and agile development methodology, where we can use this. What is use case? Use case is a specific situation where you can use any method or anything which you know. We can understand some interesting use cases where we can use prototyping and agile development. Here the first thing is making a healthcare app. They have given an example. In this, you are going to make a healthcare app. For that, you have to make an initial prototype. You are making an initial prototype based on data input and alerts. Whatever the data of the patient, the blood pressure, heart rate, that and all you have to input into the device, that is the mobile platform, and then it will give alert to the doctors whether the patient's vitals, that is the heart rate, BP, whether they are normal or they are abnormal, is there any check which is going to be needed, that and all it will give an alert to the doctor. This is the initial prototype of the product. Now we have a problem. Here we have a need for expansion or additional features. We have a diabetic patient. He wants to consult with the doctor on a real-time basis. He wants to send messages. He wants video conferencing facility, etc. For personalized solutions, he wants to consult the doctor through video conferencing. For that, how your app will help? That is the question here. For that, you have to integrate these things into the prototype using agile development and many methods. You have to integrate this. Now this app is ready for the use of diabetic patient. This is what they are trying to tell. The next thing is making an e-learning platform. E-learning platform means an education platform where you can access the courses, learn for many courses for online in an online methodology. The initial prototype will be based on basic course navigation. Basically, you can see the videos, you can move through the course. That's all you can do using the initial prototype. After prototype, you are testing it with students and educator. You are giving it to users, customer. They will give you a feedback. For example, you can take a high school student who is struggling in a traditional learning environment. He cannot study properly in a classroom, but he is very properly and excellently learning in the online platform. That is the impact of the online platform. Now what he is asking is that he wants some interactive elements. He wants some quiz, polls, like gamification element, he wants those. And collaborative features. He wants to connect with other students and work together. He wants to make lively discussion and project also he wants to do. For that, how your platform will help. Now you have to make gamification into turned complex subjects. For that, you have to create gamification features. For complex subjects and all, you have to create a poll, a quiz, a flow chart, a question type, like that you have to create. And then you have to create a live session virtual classroom in the platform which will connect the learners. Globally, all the learners will be able to connect if they are learning the same course. This is the solution using prototyping and agile development for e-learning platform. Next, smart home device. You are developing a smart home device. Imagine like Amazon Alexa, it have to turn on the light, turn off the light, it have to play songs, it has to operate the TV, it has to operate the vacuum cleaner, everything it has to do. That is the smart home device. Here, what are the main things you have to focus? Climate control. What is the climate going outside? That and all it should tell. Security. It should be secure. Entertainment should also be there. It should play songs, show movies, that and all. In user testing, when users are using it, there is a problem. There are family members who have confusing interfaces. They could not understand the interface of the platform. And there is an inconsistent device synchronization. That problem is also there. But they are trying to make is, what they are trying to make is, the platform developers, they are going to picture a working professional. He, after working all day, he has to come home and use this device easily for entertainment purpose, security purpose, etc. This is the main motive of the smart home device. Now, after making these changes, making the interface proper and device synchronization, they are making it proper. After doing that, they are getting a final prototype. That is understanding the real life needs of the users. It is properly working as per the practical situations. Next thing is collaborative workspace tool. In workspace, you have Microsoft Teams, Zoom video communications, like that. You have various tools for collaboration. Like that, they are going to make a app. The initial prototype is for file sharing and basic communication. After that, they are getting many problems like delayed communication, project management, they are getting problems. After that, they are developing it and they are making it an app which has video conferencing. We can track the task. You can edit the documents collaboratively. It looks like a virtual office. This is how you have created the workspace tool. Initial prototype. After that, you have to see the challenges, make the modifications, and then you will get the final prototype. This is the template for each and every app. Now they are telling the agile methodology. How these 4 examples will have agile methodology. That is what they are telling. For healthcare app, you are going to make agile methodology usage by making adaptability, collaboration, continuous feedback. This process you are going to make. You are first creating a prototype. It should adapt. You should be able to collaborate with the users and you should get a feedback, and based on that you have to improve. For healthcare app, earlier it was data input and alerts. But after that, the team quickly adjusts the prototype to accommodate the new features. They are making the new features, incorporating it into the existing app. Now they are getting the final product. Final product aligns closely with the evolving needs. It is satisfying all the needs of the customer. Like that, they are using the agile methodology and they are preparing the final product. You can read the examples all by yourselves. It is very easy. I have highlighted the important points. The same thing is repeated. First, they will create an initial prototype. After that, you will get the feedback and challenges. After that, you will improve it and match the needs of the users. The next thing is challenges in prototyping and agile development. What are the challenges? In prototyping, we have a challenge for unclear requirement. Whether if the customer is not giving us proper specification, we cannot create the prototype properly. It will not match the customer expectation. Next thing is scope creep. If you are getting feedback and incorporating it continuously, you may go outside of the scope of the project. Your project will have in the beginning you will set certain scope for the project. This is the motive we are working for. This is the boundary for our project. Like that you will be fitting. If you add more and more features, there's a high possibility that you will wander out somewhere and you will be missing the main motive. That is also a problem. That is called scope creep. And then limited user involvement. You have active user involvement. If you build a prototype, you should give it to users. The users should actively use it and give a proper feedback. Only then you can make the final product which will match the customer expectation. Main thing is it should match the customer expectation. If you have less user involvement, you cannot create a proper product. Overemphasis on aesthetics. Many times people will be focusing, if they are building a software, they will focus on the aesthetic requirement. They will see that whether it should have this type of color code, it should have this type of design and all, and then they will not focus on the main aspects, which is the core user experience and functions. If the features are not working properly, even if it is very beautiful, it will be of no use. That is the problem. Real world scenario. It should have a very good design, but also it should be practically applicable for all the situation. If we cannot use it practically, then there is no use in using it. Resistance to change. If you are using prototyping and agile methodology and all, the people in your organization may give resistance. They will be saying that earlier we used traditional methods, we can follow that itself. They will not cooperate for the new things. You have to convince them to implement the prototype and agile methodology. Challenges in agile development. First thing is adapting to the agile culture. It is a cultural shift. You have to incorporate new things. You should do continuous improvement. This and all, it is not in the traditional template. People will not be doing it from the earlier period of time. Now you have to do it new in a new manner. You are changing the culture, so you will face resistance. Managing changing priorities. If you are working on a task, you are trying to accomplish a goal in a agile sprint fixed time period, but the customer gives feedback and asks for features, what you will do, whether you will be adding the features or you will be working on your existing goal. That is a problem. You have to manage the priority and do it accordingly. That is one challenge. And then maintaining consistent quality. Here you are doing continuous improvement. You are changing it constantly, so there will be a question of quality, whether the product will be quality. It will have quality standards or not. That is the problem here. And then balancing flexibility and structure. In agile development, when you are doing, you have to make provision itself while developing the software. If customer gives any feedback and changes, we have to incorporate it. For that itself, you have to keep in mind and make all the features accordingly. If you go too flexible, then the structure will not be proper. It will be difficult to have the structure in a proper line. So you have to balance between flexibility and structure. And then effective collaboration and communication. In agile development, the important thing is the developer and the user customer, they should have a proper communication. Only then we can get a proper final product. This is a flow chart or a summarization of challenges in prototyping and agile development. Next thing is you have to identify the critical success elements. What are critical success elements? For that, you have to see what are the main things in your organization. What are the main things which you have to focus on. Those are the critical success elements. If you focus on them, you can allocate resources efficiently. It will enhance your productivity. You can mitigate the risk by being proactive. You can reduce the risk, and you can by doing this, you can align your product with the market needs. It will meet the customer expectation and it will meet the product market fit. For that, you want a customer centric approach. You want a well defined plan also. For that, we are going to do the critical success element for product development, product offering, procurement and supply chain. These are 4 different aspects. In that, what you are going to change, that is what the critical success element we are going to see. The next thing is investor outlook on success element. You are having critical success element. What is the connection with investor? What the investor is expecting to you from you for what you have to do on the critical success element. The investors, what they are telling us that we want a user-centric design. If it is focused on the user-centric measure, then the user will probably like it and it will be easier to achieve the product market fit. You need to have adaptability and efficiency for creating a user-centric design. They have given different personalities with different codes, what they are telling through their codes, how they are seeing these critical success elements. That is what they are telling. These are just some codes, you can read it yourself. I have highlighted the important words in this. You can just give a read for this. The next thing is investor's analysis of a product. You are developing a product and showing it in front of an investor. First, what we have seen, we have to create a minimum viable product. We have to use prototyping and agile development to make the product market fit. After achieving the product market fit, we will show the product to the investors. What the investors will do, they will analyze the product, whether the product is proper or not. Can we give funding to the startup? That they will decide based on the product only. That what they will analyze, that is given here. First thing is market validation. The investors will see whether you have done proper market research. Only if you do the research, you will be able to build the product properly. The next thing is clear product definition and goals. You have to have a clear product roadmap. First we are doing this, next we are doing this. In the ongoing stages, we will be developing the product in this manner. That and all, you should have clear goals. Next thing is user-centric. As we already said, it should be appealing to the user. User should like the product. Next thing is cross-functional collaboration. Cross-functional collaboration means you have different departments, like sales, marketing, software development, testing, like that. You have different departments. All the departments should work together for creating the final product. If every department is operating separately, then there will be a non-communication and we cannot create the final product efficiently. Next thing is agile development. Whether the startup is employing agile development, that they will see. If you are using agile development, there is a more probability that your product will match the customer expectation. Quality assurance and testing, whether you are doing or not. Scalability, whether your startup has the capability to expand to multiple cities or multiple countries. Like that, do you have a capability for expansion? That they will evaluate. And then go to market strategy, how your startup will reach the customers, what will be your sales and distribution strategy, marketing campaign, what you will do, that and all will be covered here. These are the factors which the investor will see while deciding whether to give funding to you or not. The next thing is understanding these four aspects, how you are going to change these critical success elements. That is what we are going to see. We have to adopt a technology driven approach. If you adopt technology driven approach, you can innovate, you can scale efficiently, there will be no problem in expansion. You can also match the market trends. Next thing is you can do data driven decision making. You can make decision based on statistic. You have to adopt a technology centric approach. The main thing they are telling is that you have to integrate technology. Don't do everything manually. Integrate technology wherever possible. This is a small example of Coupang, a company which is like Amazon but of South Korea. It is called the Amazon of South Korea. It is a very interesting example. You can read this once. It is not much important, but it will be very interesting for reading. It will be helpful for understanding the other concepts also in a holistic manner. You can read it by yourselves. The next thing is building a strong tech for a product. You have to implement technology. How you will implement technology in a product? You have to do these things for technology implementation. First thing is clarify the vision. What is the purpose of your product? That and all you have to clearly define. Only then you can bring the appropriate technology. Assemble a skilled team. For technology, we need a team which is highly expert. That team we need. Next, scalable technology. You should be using technology which will be helpful for future expansion. Prioritize security measures. Since technology has a lot of problems like data breach, cyber security problems, those problems at all you have to handle. You have to have proper security. Agile development with MVP. You should start with the MVP and you should adopt Agile development also. Implement continuous monitoring. After starting the Agile development, you have to make continuous improvement. You have to monitor the process. Next thing is product offering. What is product offering? Product offering means if you are a company, what you are going to give to the customer, whether it is a software or it is a manufactured food item or what it is a warehouse or it is a furniture, whatever you are going to give to the customer, that is the product offering. That is the value proposition. What is the value you are going to give to the customer? What and all should be a part of product offering? Essential feature. The product you are giving, what are the features in it that you should include? Stellar brand image. You should have the brand image also. Like Apple, it has a brand image of innovation. Using the track record of over all these years. Like that, you need a brand image. Affordable innovation. You should have innovation, but it should not be too costly. Attractive packaging and presentation. It should be visually appealing to the customers. It should be attracting the customers in a visual manner. Only then they will purchase it. Comprehensive support and services. You should give after sales support in a very proper manner. If you do not give after sales support, people will not choose you. Next, procurement. What is the important things to be seen in procurement? You have to procure quality material. You should never compromise on the quality. Cost management. You do not blindly follow quality. You should also see the cost aspect of the product. Supply chain efficiency, whether the supply chain, from where you are sourcing the raw material, how it is being transported, how it is coming to the wholesaler, retailer, how you are getting it, everything you have to watch. Smooth and efficient supply should be maintained. Risk mitigation. For example, if you have a critical component, very important component, and you are relying only on one supplier for that, if that supplier refuses to give that component to you, then it will be a great trouble for the organization. So you have to have at least 2 or 3 suppliers for critical components. That is what they are telling. The risk you have to reduce. Supplier relationship. You have to build a strong relationship with supplier. Only then he will give you discount. He will give you proper quality material, that and all. Regulatory complaints. When you are purchasing raw material, you should see the regulatory and legal complaints, quality standards, that and all properly followed or not. That you should see. The next thing is role of supply chain. How is supply chain helping your business? That is what they are telling. Efficient supply chain management. If the supply chain is proper, what will happen? You will get a timely raw material. If you have timely raw material, you can manufacture properly and you can sell also properly. Reduces operational cost. If you have an efficient supply chain, obviously cost will be reduced. Overall business resilience. Business will be strong. And then you can make timely delivery. You can have sustainable practices. Everything will be possible with the help of an efficient supply chain. In supply chain, you should have a core competency. If you have a core competency in supply chain, there will be a smooth flow of your products from yourself or from your seller to your consumer. It will be a smooth flow. They have given some examples for supply chain optimization. You can read it by yourself. The next thing is strengthening the supply chain. For strengthening the supply chain, what and all you should do? First, you should adapt the technology. You have software that you should do. Internet of Things, sensors, that and all you should adapt. Automation you should do. Blockchain also you can use. And then strategic partnership. You have to make partnership with the suppliers for strengthening the supply chain. As I said already, it has a lot of benefits. Like you can get high quality raw material. You can have a delivery efficiency. You can have collaborative planning. You can manufacture properly with efficient manner. Then ecosystem collaboration. If there is a collaboration between the supply chain participant, you can have shared insight, resources, efficiently you can operate. This is the overall thing for supply chain. In this chapter, what and all we saw is that product development process. First, we have to create the minimum viable product. Then we have to achieve the product market fit. Then that journey we saw using many examples. And then for that, we can adopt methods like prototyping and agile development. Then we saw the critical success elements. These are all the important things that we saw in this chapter. So that's all about this chapter. Chapter number 4, pitching the idea and presentation. Earlier we saw first 3 chapters which covered the early stages of entrepreneurship, and then what is product development, how you are going to develop a product, everything we saw in the first 3 chapters. Now we are going to see about the pitching the idea and presentation. What do you mean by pitching the idea? Pitching the idea means when you are a startup, you have to go for funding. For that funding, you have to go to investors. You are explaining to the investors what is your product, what is the business model, what is the market, what you are going to do, who are your customer, how much revenue you are going to generate, how much return on investment you will give, like and all these things you are going to explain to the investors and convince them to put money into your business. This is the idea of pitching. You are going to introduce your business and get funding from the investors. And presentation, the same things we are going to use a presentation for the same purpose. This is, we are going to see this in detail in this chapter. First thing in this chapter, what we are going to see is they have given some 2 points. Now in this technology era, startups are equipped with knowledge and skills. Every startup founder has learned something. They have some kind of knowledge and they have very big skills. Only then they are able to build a startup properly. And they are using the lean startup technique. Lean technique means wherever lean business, lean system or lean startup, everything, the word lean means reducing the wastage. There will be no wastage and you will be operating in an efficient manner. If you automatically reduce wastage, what will happen? You will reduce the cost. This will be a very good thing for the startup. And then investors. Investors also have high expectation because there is a lot of competition in the startup field. Many people are introducing startups. So investors have high expectation. Startups have relevant academic experience. People who are starting the startups, they have relevant academic experience, and then they have received special training also relating to the startup, and they are having networking with the industry. They are attending many networking events. They are speaking with many industry experts. They are having networking within the industry, and they also know many professionals. Today's startup founders are this much equipped. This is what they are telling in the introduction. The next thing is there is a heightened investor scrutiny. Nowadays, investors are very carefully scrutinizing the startups. Startups have foundational knowledge and skills. They are participating in networking events. That and all we saw. First thing is business plan and pitch deck. What is a business plan? Business plan is like a map for the entrepreneurs. It will show them where they are, where they have to go. For that, what and all steps they have to do, what and all things they should keep in mind. Everything will be in the business plan. Example, they are giving Flipkart and Ola. They have a very well-defined business plan. Only then they are able to come this much. What is pitch deck? We saw about the business plan, a short introduction, and then what is a pitch deck? Pitch deck is a visually engaging presentation. It should be brief and attractive. You are going to use visual elements in it. I have given the key points in this paragraph as a handwritten format in between the lines. You can read that just for, you need not waste time by reading these 3 lines. You can just see this for understanding the main point. They are using the visual elements in the pitch deck. It should be brief and attractive. You have to convince the investor to put money into the startup. For that, you can include some technical details. What are the specifications of the product in case of the software, like that you can include. Financial projections also you have to include. Pitch deck, when it became popular, from the 1990s and 2000s, it is very popularly used. Since the dot-com bubble, it is very prevalently used in the startup industry. Pitch deck is very important to secure funding. You are going to show the investor what you are going to do. It is an effective communication tool. Investors are interested in the emerging technology. They are very interested to invest in the ongoing technology. For example, if between 5 years ago, if an investor invested in artificial intelligence, today he will have a great return on investment. So that technology always has a growing market. So investors are seeing for technological startups. Like Google and Amazon, they use the pitch decks to secure their early stage investment. First thing is drafting a business plan. It is a blueprint for the company. It will have a vision, it will guide the operation, strategy, everything will be as per the business plan. Now what is the business plan? What and all the elements of business plan? It is given here. Company description, we will be learning one by one in a brief manner here. Elements of business plan. First thing is executive summary. What is executive summary? It will give a snapshot of your business. What are all the key aspects of the startup? Like what is the business model? That and all will be there. Concept, market opportunity, who are your competitor, what is your advantage, financial projection, how much funding you want, everything will be in the executive summary. Next thing is company description. Everything about your company, mission, vision, values, core competency. This is full and full about your company. Next thing is market analysis. What research you have done? What are the data that you have? How did you collect the data? What are the market trend? What are the competitive analysis? What are the analysis of your competitor industries or competitor companies? target market, that and all will be in the market research, market analysis part. Product or services, it is the offering. As we saw in the last chapter, what the company is giving to the customer, that is called the product or services. You should include the features, what are the benefit of using the product, what will be the price of the product, that and all you should include. Or not exactly price, but you should include the pricing strategy, how you will give. Are you going to do some penetration pricing? Are you going to do price skimming? You are going to keep the price high or keeping the price low or competing with mid-range products, that and all you should include. Marketing and sales strategy, how you will reach the customer. As we saw already in the earlier chapter, it is the sales, distribution and marketing strategy for the product. Operational plan, it is the operating strategy, how your business will operate on a day-to-day manner, what is the production process, supply chain, everything will be included here. Management and organization, what is the team who will be managing the operations. There will be a management team comprising of CEO, CFO, that and all, who will be the management team. And then financial plan, what is your financial plan, how you are going to secure the fund, how you are going to use it, what are the expense ratio, that and all should be disclosed here. These are the key elements. Executive summary, it is about the snapshot of the business. Company description about the mission, vision, core values, core competency, etc. Market analysis, what research you have done. Products or services, it is the offering, features, benefits of your product. Marketing and sales strategy, how you will reach the customer. Operational plan, day-to-day operations. Management and organization, which team will manage. Financial plan, about the financial aspects. This is the business plan. The next thing is examples of business plan. They have given the large amount of examples for the business plan. For every company, they have created an example and they have given executive summary. What is the business plan, that and all. They have given category wise. You can read this. I have highlighted the important words here. They have given 1 or 2 examples. You can read this by yourself. This is very easy, as you can match the concept which I said along with the company example. It will be easy for you. The next thing is making a pitch deck. First we saw about business plan. What is the element of business plan? We saw pitch deck meaning. Now we are going to see how to make a pitch deck. For that we have to create a compelling pitch deck. We need a clear and concise outline. What and all the elements should be covered. What is the problem in the market? What is the solution you are telling? What is the market, target market? What is your product? Business model, marketing strategy. These and all it should include. Each slide will convey one key point. In a slide, you cannot incorporate a lot of text. It will be a little bit messy and the investors will not like it. You need to include only one key point in each slide. You can support it by visuals. You can show photos, graphs, data, statistics that you can show. Focus on storytelling. Since you are getting only limited time, up to 10 minutes only you will get for a pitch. So you have to focus on storytelling. You should convince the investors. You should communicate everything clearly and secure the funding. You should spark the attention. You should get interest from the investors for your idea and secure the funding. That is the motive. For that, what and all skills you want? Content development. You should create clear and compelling messages. For that, you need content creation ability. Visual design. You need visually appealing slides. It should be beautiful. Storytelling. You should attract the investors into your story. They should understand your concept. Data analysis. You should be showing the market research. What research you did. How much statistics you have. That and all you should present. Communication. What and all you have prepared that you have to communicate effectively. The next thing is 9 questions every pitch deck needs to answer. For example, if you are preparing a pitch deck, what and all the important questions which the pitch deck needs to answer, that is what given here. Now, problems in pitch deck. What is the problem in pitch deck? There is a lack of clarity. If you prepare a pitch deck without clarity, it will not get the attention from the investor. Over complex information. The investors have only up to 10 minutes for each pitch deck. So you cannot make the pitch deck complex by including technical information and all. Give only relevant information. Avoid complexity. Inconsistent data without evidence. You are telling so much data but you are showing no evidence means it is just unsubstantiated claims. They will not believe without any evidence. Investors need sufficient claim along with the appropriate evidence. The next thing is if key aspects are missing, it is a big problem. Now the investors will be doing differentiate between hype and substance. Whatever you are telling, they will accept it only if there is sufficient evidence. The 9 questions which I told are, what is the problem? How big is the problem? How are you solving? Solution you have to tell. Business model you have to give. Marketing strategy. Team. Financial. Ask from the investor. Funding requirement. Everything which we saw in the business plan, it should be in one way or the other. It should be communicated through the pitch deck. Here what we have to see is one important term, ask from the investors. In question, if they say about ask from the investors, the meaning is that how much funding you are expecting from the investor, how much money you want. That is the meaning for ask from the investors. Now we have some important key terms in the startup space, certain key terminology which you have to understand. I think this is important. There may be questions coming from this, so you have to watch this carefully. First thing is total addressable market. In the total market, how much people are there, how much revenue generating potential that it has. If you satisfy 100% market demand, how much the market will be. Revenue if that demand is fulfilled. If you fulfill the 100% demand, how much revenue you can generate. That is the total addressable market, TAM. Second thing is serviceable addressable market. Out of that 100% market, how much you are going to address, how much you are going to convert into your customer, what is your actual realistic demand, who are your target customer. In one word, that is they are asking total target customer. The next thing is LTV, customer lifetime value. L for life, T for time, V for value, lifetime value. Total revenue that a startup can expect from a single customer over his lifetime. It should be in a revenue form. For example, if you are a toothpaste company and if a person buys toothpaste, he will be, for example, we can take that he will buy 10 toothpaste per year. For one toothpaste, the price we can take it as 10 rupees. In 1 year, he will spend 100 rupees. Suppose we can take that he will live for 70 years. For 70 years, every year he will give you 100 rupees. Total 7,000 rupees is the customer lifetime value. This is for one customer. This is the data they are asking here. Customer acquisition cost. For acquiring that one customer, how much you are spending. That is how much marketing campaign, advertisement you are doing. That is what they are asking. Runway. Runway means time period that the startup can operate without running out of funds. Now the people, startup founders, they are coming for funding only. Now without this funding, how much days they can operate? That is what they are asking. Without running out of funds. With the existing fund which they are having, how much days they can run the business. That is what they are asking in months for understanding the financial health. Whether the startup is having a good financial health or not. For measuring that, the investors are asking this. This is called runway. The next thing is burn rate, rate at which funds are being used. Suppose the investors give 1 crore rupees for the startup. Within how much time the startup will fully expend this amount? That is what they are asking. Rate at which funds are being used. Monthly or annual figure. For monthly, this much expense we can use, like that they will tell. Or for 1 crore rupees, we will be spending that fully 1 crore rupees in 6 months, 9 months, like that they have to tell. This is they are asking for financial management understanding, whether the startup is properly utilizing the amount of money. The next thing is churn rate, percentage of customers who discontinue the product usage. For example, 100 customers are buying your product. How many customers discontinue your product and go to the competitor product? Or they stop using your product? How much customers percentage are stopping using your product? That is the thing. Here what they are asking for is customer retention parameter. If you have 100 customers, how much customer you are able to retain? And then quality of the product. If your quality is very good, all the customer will not go to other products. They will stay with you. If your quality is not good, the people will switch to other products. The next thing is general uses of fund from investor. If you get the amount from investor, how you will spend that amount? You will do in product development. Last chapter fully we saw about product development. The next thing is operation and infrastructure. You will be using it for day-to-day operation and also for infrastructure, machinery, fixed assets. You will purchase that also. Scaling, for expansion, for opening branches in other city, other country, etc. You will use. Research and market validation. Research means you are doing research, you understand the customer, to find the market expectation, to find the competitor. That and all you are doing research. In that you can spend. Market expansion, for bringing new market. If you are developing an existing product, you are staying inside the existing market itself. If you are bringing a new product, you are venturing into a new market. For that also you can use. Talent acquisition. You can bring top talent to the startup management. You can hire a very big CEO who is an expert in managing the finances for managing the business. For that you can bring talent, hire new experienced workers. Legal and regulatory compliance. For that also you can use. For that I have highlighted the important words. It is very simple. You can read this out from that. The next thing is differentiating between hype and substance. What is the problem faced by investor while analyzing your startup? You are having a lot of uncertainty. Already we saw statistics that 90% of the startups face failure. Only 10% become successful. So there is a lot of uncertainty. Lack of liquidity. Since you have resource constraint, you have to do innovation, you have to do agile development, you have to do prototype, you have to gather feedback, you have to make market research, you have to do competitor analysis. Lot of work you have. For that you have to spend the funds. So you will be in a lack of liquidity. You will not having a lot of funds. Next thing is inflated valuation. You will be making the valuation of your startup according to your ideas, goals, aspirations, business model, according to your assumptions. But that assumption may not be true. Your valuation may be inflated. Traditionally, there will be some assumption. Based on that, your value may be coming lower. But you will be telling that our valuation is very high. That is also a problem, inflated valuation. Now, hype versus substance, they have given a lot of points, but I have summarized it here. For understanding that, you can read this. If you want to go deeper, I have highlighted the keywords. You can read from that also. Hype. What is hype? So whatever the things the startup is saying in the pitch deck, whether it is hype or substance, that is what we are going to differentiate. First thing is claims without proper evidence. If you are saying something without proper evidence, it is a hype. If you are giving actual situation backed by proof, you are giving evidence, then it is substance. If you do not have any clarity on how a product makes value addition, if a customer purchases the product, what is the value addition you are giving to the customer, how it will add value to the life of the customer. If you have no clarity, it is hype. If you have a clear value proposition and a clear pain point in the market, it is a substance. If you have inflated financial estimate, it is a hype. If you have realistic projection, it is substance. If you have vague communication, you are not going into the details, you are not telling about the potential drawback. For every startup, while securing funding, you should also tell the potential drawback. These are all the risks associated that you should disclose. If you are not saying it, it will be a hype. If you are communicating transparently about who is the team, what will be our ability, this much we can achieve, that you have to tell clearly, then it will be substance. no proper execution. If you cannot execute the plan properly, how good the plan is, it will always fail because you are not executing it properly. It will be a hype. If you have a track record of achievement, you can show your earlier record. Earlier we secured this much funding, we utilized this much, and we have grown to this much level. Like that, you have to show the track record. Then it will be a substance. Investor will analyze the hype versus substance. Hype means without substantial evidence in general. Substance means it will be actually based on proof. This you can read it by yourself. The same summarization I have given in handwritten format. The next thing is pitch deck samples. All the concepts which we saw now, you have to include this, you have to take realistic projection, you have to give proof, you have to make transparent communication, everything. For that they have given a model pitch deck. This you can take it as a role model. They have given different slides, and in different slides what are all the important things that should have. It was designed by J. Schuyler Fernandez. This you can refer to and you can see how the concepts are applied. It is not so important, so I am skipping this. You can read it by yourself, it is very easy. Just you are going to apply the concept and see a realistic pitch deck. The next thing is, here they have given the website link. From this website only the pictures are taken for the model pitch deck. You can go to that website also for seeing that. Art of elevator pitch. In the second chapter or first chapter, we saw the types of pitch. Elevator pitch, sales pitch, product pitch, investor pitch. Like that we saw different types of pitch deck. What is the purpose of the elevator pitch is that, elevator means, how it got its name I will tell you. If an entrepreneur, supposedly he is going into a lift and you are a startup founder, you want funding. You are also going into that lift with an investor, and before reaching the final floor, you have to tell the investor about all your business model, revenue, everything, and convince him to put money into the business. Within that elevator going into the final floor, you have to convince him. You will get up to a timing of 2 minutes or 2 minutes 30 seconds. Within that you have to make the you have to convince the investor. This is how the pitch got its name, elevator pitch. You have to be concise, very short only you can speak. You should be compelling, you should convince him. It should convey the essence of your business. What is the main thing of your business? That it should be very clearly communicated to the investor. Convey the value proposition, how you are giving value, that is called a value proposition. Clearly you have to tell it, briefly, concisely, in a very short manner you have to tell it. Persuasive, you should what we can say, influence the investor to take action. That is called persuasion. You are influencing to take action. You are convincing him to take action. That is called persuasion. That also you should do. Here for elevator pitch they have given some examples. They have given different companies and their elevator pitch, what we can say, that value proposition dialogue or that elevator pitch, what you are going to say, that is given here. You can read it by yourself. It will be very redundant if I say it. I already have said the concept very clearly. The next thing is essentials of an elevator pitch. The next thing we are going to see is the essentials of an elevator pitch. In an elevator pitch, 3 things are very essential. First thing is clarity. You should be very clear in the value proposition. What value you are giving to the customer. Second thing is confidence. You should be very confident while preparing a presentation. If you are doubtful, the investors also will be doubtful to put money into your business. Third thing is compelling. It should be very convincing for the startup investor. If it is not compelling, he will not give money. Then once the 3 C's are ready, after preparing the 3 C, clarity, confidence, compelling, you should see whether it is covering all these 4 aspects. Problem statement. What is the problem in the market? What is the market opportunity which you are going to use? That you have to say clearly. And then why it is important. How big the problem is. Why you are going to address it. If it is a small problem, you need not bring a product for that. How big is the problem? That you have to tell. Next thing is solution. How you will solve the problem. What is your uniqueness in solving the problem? There will be already some companies which are solving the problem in one way or the other. What are the problems in that companies? How you are going to solve it very efficiently? What is your uniqueness? That you should tell. What I am going to give to the customer. Suppose I am the startup, you have to give the value proposition. What am I giving to the customer? How it will add value to his life? How the value proposition you have to tell the specific benefit. If the customer uses my product, what will be the benefit? For not for the startup, but for the customer. The next thing is traction or proof. Whatever you are telling, you have to support it with proof. Evidence you should give. The next thing is call to action. After listening this presentation, if the investor wants to help you, what he should do? Whether he should give the money, or he should give some contact, or he should arrange another meeting, or he should give time for a demo presentation. That and all, you should give a clear call to action. Only if you are giving a clear call to action, if the investor likes your presentation, he will move forward. These are the summary of the 5 things which you should be covering in the 3C. In your pitch deck. Learning the art of elevator pitch. In an elevator pitch, what and all is the important things? The important thing is art of storytelling. Since you have only 2 minutes up to 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you have to create a very compelling storytelling. The story, the investor should be very attracted to it. Only then he will give you the money. Art of convincing. You should tell the facts and circumstances in such a manner so that the investor is attracted to you and gives the money to you. You are not going to steal from the investor. You are going to compel him and not compelling, you should be convincing. The correct word is convincing. You should convince him to put money. Next thing is importance of delivery. The delivery is not pregnancy delivery, it is a body language. How you are delivering the speech. how you are delivering the elevator pitch. That is the most important thing. The next thing is power of customization. Who you are pitching to. There are different kinds of pitch. If you are telling to investor, you should focus on the funding requirement, business model, return on investment. If you are telling it to the customer, you should tell about the value proposition, specific benefits, uniqueness, differentiation. That and all you have to tell to the customer. Customer will not be bothered about the business model and administration, but investor will need to know about the business model. What aspect you are telling to which person. That is very important. Next thing is numbers play a crucial role. Numbers are very important. In market research or whatever you do, you have to bring the statistics. You have to tell this much percentage of customers are our target market. This much percentage is the total active market. This much percentage is the churn rate, burn rate. That all you have to tell with numbers. That numbers will add strength to your presentation. Next thing is you have to go to networking event and build a connection with the eminent professionals, experts in the field. Next thing is elevator pitch is a powerful tool. If you use it properly, it can bring great good things to your startup. The next thing is rules of pitching the idea. If you are pitching to investors, what and all you should do. If you are pitching to customers, what you should do. First thing is know your audience. Talk according to the investor mindset. Next thing is focus on the problem and solution. What is the problem in the market? How you are going to solve it? What is your uniqueness? That and all you should tell. What is the market opportunity? Highlight it. Showcase traction and validation. Give the proof and evidence. Demonstrate competitive advantage. When compared to your competitors, what advantage and uniqueness that you have to tell. Present a clear business model. What is your revenue? What is your operations? Who are your customer? Who are your supplier? What is your strategic partnership? Who are the key elements of your business? What are the key activities, key assets? Everything you have to tell. That is the clear business model. We have covered business model very clearly in the first chapter. Address the risks and challenges. What are the risks in the startup? What is the challenge in the startup? That you have to tell. Have a strong team. You have to showcase the expertise of your team. Your team members are expert in different fields. Their certification and qualification you can tell. Be concise and engaging. Do not be boring. Follow up and build relationship. Even if you do not get funding, you can build a good relationship with the investor so that he can help you later on in the startup field. When you are going to customer, you have to tell these things. You have to talk according to the customer. You have to communicate the value proposition. You should use a compelling storytelling. You should tell how you are differentiated when compared to your competitor. Address the objection and concern. For example, if a customer tells any problem, you have to answer to it. How you are going to solve it, that you have to tell. Provide social proof. You can tell the review of your product, endorsement, testimonial of your customer. Satisfied customer, they will be giving feedback. That you can share. Offer a clear call to action. If the customer wants to be associated with your product or company or startup, what they should do, that should be clear. Listen and adapt. You have to listen to your customer and adapt your presentation as you make more elevator pitch attempts. Follow up and nurture relationship. With customer also you have to create relationship. Only then they will give you bulk orders. Deliver an outstanding experience. Even if they do not buy from you, it should be a good experience for them. Next thing is how to pitch effectively. This is also very simple thing, so I will give you a summary. Quick hook. You should attract the attention of your audience within the first minute. Pitch your vision. You have to give your vision. You have to tell a story. You can make a reference to things which you can show. You can give reference only to the things which the customer understands. Then you have to give real validators, proof you can give, right opportunity you have to use, right team you have to showcase, one joke you can include in your presentation. Presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. Do not read the slides. Tell the things which you are having in your mind, which can convince the customer or investor. Do not speak too fast. Speak slowly. Do not use industry acronyms. Speak in layman terms. Do not show a video, but you can show pictures. Next thing is art of persuasion. The next thing we are going to see is the art of persuasion. What is the art of persuasion? As I already said, you are influencing some people to do some things. That is called the art of persuasion. For what you are using this? For securing funding, attracting customer, building partnership, recruiting talent. For these purposes, you are doing the persuasion art. Ratan Tata demonstrated exceptional persuasive skills. They are telling about the different entrepreneurs and how they used this to secure funding or achieve certain big achievements for their companies. He acquired Jaguar Land Rover from Ford Motor Company. This will be possible only through proper negotiation and persuasion skills. If you cannot influence them to sell the company, it will not be possible to acquire it. Innovation and Ratan Tata was a very innovative person. He will be thinking about the mindset of the people when looking at the product. He will be very well connected to the grassroots people. He will be understanding the needs of the people so that he will be able to innovate like Tata Nano. Tata Nano car was the biggest innovation of Ratan Tata, but we people failed it because we thought the cheapest car will not be proper for our families. The next thing is social impact and corporate responsibility. He had a very big corporate responsibility. He was running a lot of foundations, research, and he was helping the society in many ways. He had genuine empathy and he was able to build trusted and long-lasting relationship with everyone. Examples for persuasion. What is the persuasion art? What you are going to exactly do in the persuasion art? You have to use persuasive storytelling. You have to attract the customers and influence them by using your storytelling capability. You can keep your price low, or you can influence the customers or investors by adjusting your pricing methodology. Next thing is marketing. You can also make attractive marketing campaigns. You can give the marketing campaigns a rich feel, and it can be used to connect with the audience and persuade them. They have given examples of various companies and how they used it. The keyword, what they used in persuasion, that I have highlighted here. You can read this for learning in depth about the persuasion strategies. I think it's not important. As an art, we learned it, and how Ratan Tata used it, we saw. That much will be enough for questions part, I think so. The next thing is art of persuasion. Not only in corporate world, they have also used it for social impact. Like Swachh Bharat mission, they had launched an extensive marketing campaign. Everyone will know about Swachh Bharat because of the persuasive campaign. Next thing is shade trees. They have given examples for this. I have also highlighted the key things in this. You can read that. That's all. The chapter is completed. Now we are going to see what and all we learned in this chapter. First thing is business plan and pitch deck. Business plan is like the map to entrepreneurs. What and all the elements it should be there. Executive summary, company description, that and all we saw. Then pitch deck. What is a pitch deck? Format, essentials, everything we saw. Elevator pitch. What is elevator pitch? What is the purpose? What are the elements? What are the things to keep in mind? Everything we saw. Pitching the idea. If you are going to investor, what you should focus. If you are going to customer, what you should focus. That we saw. Then we saw the art of persuasion. That's all about this chapter. The next chapter we are going to see is chapter 5, institutions supporting small business enterprises. In this chapter, we will be studying about institutions like SIDBI, DPIIT, like that, Niti Aayog, those institutions we will be studying here, how they are helping the startups. That is, we are going to see here. First thing is government and startups. Government support is very important for startups. Startups will help the government in job creation, technology development, like that startups will help the government. Why startups are important? They will create innovation, they will bring economic growth, they will develop new technology, they will help in job creation, they will bring productivity. Entrepreneurship and risk taking will be developed because of startups. Societal challenges will also be addressed by social entrepreneurs. For that, startups, societal challenges is the main work. Talent and expertise, they will bring more talent, and many experts will be there in our country. Attract foreign investment. As we already saw in the first chapter, if we have more startups, we will get more foreign investment. We will get more global competitiveness. These are the benefit of startup. The next thing is how government can support the startup. Government can support the startup by policy framework. They can bring a startup friendly policy. They can give access to funding. Access to funding, they can facilitate startups. Infrastructure and incubation facilities. We will be giving infrastructure. For research and all, they will require infrastructure that the government can give. Incubation facilities, the government can arrange. Skill development and capacity building. For developing the skill of the entrepreneur and giving certain workshop for the entrepreneur for how to launch their startup, how to prepare the product. Like that, they can give skill development. Market access and networking. They can give exposure to market and help in networking opportunity for the startup founders. And then intellectual property right protection. If the startup is bringing an innovative idea, they can make a patent for it, or they can make a copyright or trademark also. For those trademark copyright, there should be a protection. For that, the government can help. In policy framework, it will reduce the tax, it will reduce the regulatory burden, bring tax incentive, like that the government will help. The next thing is how the startups will support the government. They will bring job creation, they will bring employment opportunity, they will bring innovation, and then efficiency also they will bring. They will bring tax revenue. If there are more startups, more profit, tax revenue will be more for the government. They will also do some social and environmental impact initiatives. Partnership and collaboration. We can do public-private partnership and do certain good programs for the society. The next thing is we are going to see some central level institutions which are operated at the central government level. First thing we are going to see is that DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. It was established in 1995. It is operating under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. What is the motive of the DPIIT? It is for the development of innovation and entrepreneurship. For innovation development, it is established. The flagship program, the main successful program of DPIIT is that Startup India 2016. We saw it in the earlier chapter. What is the benefit it is providing to startup? How it is helping the startup? It is helping in the recognition and certification. It is registering the startup and providing tax exemption, self-certification compliance as we saw. In chapter 1 part B startup registration, we saw about the benefits of registering with DPIIT. Those benefits it is providing. It is also giving credibility. Startup India Hub we have. In that, it is a one-stop solution for the startup. If the startup want funding, they can go there. Mentorship, networking, everything is provided for startups in the Startup India Hub. Next thing is funding support. For startups, DPIIT is maintaining a fund called Funds for Startups. In that, from up to 30 lakh and 50 lakh rupees loans are also they are giving there for startups. Regulatory reforms. They have streamlined the regulatory procedures. It is very easy now for doing the business. It is also helping in international collaboration. They are helping to join with international foreign government, organization and industry people. This is the main thing, how DPIIT will help the startups. The next thing we are going to see is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is the policy think tank of Government of India. This is a very important point. Question may come in exam regarding this. What is the policy think tank of Government of India? They will ask. You have to select the option as Niti Aayog. It replaced the Planning Commission. It was established in 2015. Before 2015, Planning Commission used to make the development reforms, how to plan our country development and infrastructure, that and all. Planning Commission used to do the work. Now Niti Aayog is doing the work, so it is replacing. Atal Innovation Mission was another program of Niti Aayog, which we will be seeing later. In Niti Aayog, three things we saw. Atal Innovation Mission was there. Under Atal Innovation Mission, we got three things: Atal Incubation Center, Atal Tinkering Lab, Atal Community Innovation Center. These three things we are going to see in detail. Atal Incubation Center, they will work as an incubator. What is an incubator? That we will be seeing in the next chapter. So, for understanding now what is an incubator, we can understand it as a nurturing environment for startup. They will provide mentorship, they will provide funding, networking, they will provide research facility, everything they will give and help the startup to grow. Infrastructure, mentorship, access to funding, everything will be given. Atal Tinkering Lab. Atal Tinkering Lab are like chemical labs and practical labs which are established in schools for bringing innovation and entrepreneurship among the students. It will foster innovative ideas among the students and they will develop problem solving skills at school age itself. Next thing is Atal Community Innovation Centers. It is a community-centric innovation. In the semi-urban and rural areas, there will be people innovators. They will not get much recognition because they are in the rural area. These Atal Innovation Centers are established in every district, and in that district, what are all the rural area, what are all the innovation, that will be supported by the Atal Community Innovation Center. This is the main work of the three types of centers. Incubation Center for incubation, Tinkering Lab for innovation in school students, community innovation for artisans and innovators in a rural area. The next thing we are going to see is SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. SIDBI was focused on promoting small and medium enterprises. The main motive is to promote small and medium enterprises, SME. It was established in 1990. It plays a crucial role. It is very important for startups, MSME and small scale industry. This SIDBI bank is very important. It has given financial assistance to startup, MSME and small scale industries. It has brought several schemes for startups. The first thing is Startup Mitra Portal by SIDBI. It is for collaboration between startups, investors, everyone in the field. Like it is an online platform. People can collaborate and work together and connect together by using that portal. They can showcase their business ideas, communicate, access mentorship, everything we can get in that portal. Next thing is SMILE, SIDBI Make in India Soft Loan Fund for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. For MSMEs, they are giving loans, soft loans. That is, they are giving under the Make in India initiative given by the SIDBI Bank. This is the name of this scheme. This is in short called as SMILE. Questions are coming in exam regarding this thing. Which institution is responsible for giving the SMILE loans? Whether it is Niti Aayog or DPIIT or SIDBI. You have to choose the correct option as SIDBI. This is an important question which is being repeated. Soft loans it is giving to micro, small, medium enterprises. For capital expenditure and project cost it is giving the loans. The next thing is SIDBI Venture Capital Fund for startups. It is a venture capital fund, same like normal venture capital fund. It will see the idea and give the money for equity in exchange of equity. They will give it in the form of equity financing. It will give fund to startups at different stages of their life cycle. Startup life cycle has different stages like pre-seed stage, seed stage. That and all we will be studying detail in the next upcoming chapters. They are focused on the technology, healthcare and renewable energy sector. The schemes are Startup Mitra Portal, it is for collaboration, and then SMILE, soft loan for MSME, collateral free loan they are giving, at low interest rate they are giving. SIDBI VC Fund, Venture Capital Fund, it is for financing startups. The summary they are giving is SIDBI schemes and programs, what they are doing. They are giving access to financial products and services tailored to startup specific needs. Flexible repayment terms are there, grace period is given, and then skill development program is conducted, networking opportunity is given. These are all the help to what the SIDBI is doing to the startup. The next thing we are going to see is National Research Development Corporation, NRDC. NRDC was established in the year 1953. It is mainly working in three things: technology transfer, IPR management, intellectual property right, copyright, trademark, that and all NRDC only is managing. Commercialization of innovation. If there is any innovation, you are going to register it and make a copyright for that and you are going to commercialize it. That work also this NRDC is doing. It is for promoting the indigenous technology. The purpose is within our country itself, technology should be developed. For that purpose, this is established. Innovation also it is promoting. The key schemes by NRDC are Technology Business Incubator. It is for infrastructure, mentorship, funding and networking opportunity. It is also a normal incubator but given by the NRDC. That is the main specialty here. Entrepreneurship Development Program. It is also giving training, skills, development workshop, that and all it is giving for the entrepreneurs. It is helping them to understand the business planning, market research, legal compliance, that and all. They are educating the startup owners. Technology transfer and licensing. If you are developing a technology, you are going to give it to another business for using it. You are going to give it for royalty payment. For that and all, you have to do technology transfer. You have to keep a license for the technology. That also this NRDC is helping you. It is giving help in technology. And then partnership for technology also it is facilitating. You can make a partnership with other companies for sharing the technology. Funding also it is helping. Mentorship also it is providing. These are the main things done by the NRDC. The next thing is Indian Patent Office. Indian Patent Office, it is under the DPIIT department. First thing is DPIIT, the Startup India, that initiative given by DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Under DPIIT, we have a department, CGPDTM, Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark. Under DPIIT, Patent Department. In that we have that Indian Patent Office. This is the hierarchical structure. Indian Patent Office is responsible for granting and maintaining patent. Patent facilitation cell they are maintaining. In that cell, if you have any problem, you can if you have any problem in patent, you can call to that cell. They will help you in the problem. And then scheme for facilitating startups intellectual property protection. As I already said, you will be having copyright trademark. For protecting that, IPO will help you. Indian Patent Office. They will be promoting you for purchasing patent, for creating patent by refunding up to 80% of the patent fees. If you want to obtain a patent, you have to pay some fees. In that fees, you will get 80% refund if you are a startup. Then there is a fast track examination of patent for startup. If you are a startup, your patent will be quickly processed when compared to the normal patent. They will give you protection of IPR. They are reducing the time to obtain the patent. They are helping you in funding. They are increasing your credibility also. These are all the help done by the IPO to the startup. They have given link for the website of different institution which we saw here. There are some state level institution also. Every state they have given the institution name and what they are doing, main work what they are doing. That is given here. They have given a very long list. You need not remember every one of these. You have to just read them once. It will be just a normal thing only. They will provide infrastructure, they will provide funding, mentorship, networking, research facility. These things only will be given in different combination for different state institution. You can just give a read once. I have highlighted the important points also. Just to give a reading. The next thing is, here one thing is important, Startup Gujarat. They have given in detail about the Startup Gujarat institution. So I think there may be questions from this. So we are going to see this alone in detail. First thing is, they are focusing on smart next generation solutions in Startup Gujarat scheme. They are working for innovation and competition. They are promoting healthy competition among the startup. They have two industrial policy. First one is in the 2015, second one in the 2020. In the 2015 policy, they have established a network of institution. For funding in Gujarat, you can go to this institution. For mentorship, go to this office. Like that, they have created a network of institutions. And in 2020 policy, they have promoted research and development, innovation, entrepreneurship. They have bring a lot of schemes for promoting this. The next thing is other agencies and industry associations. Other than central level institution and state level institution, we also have a lot of institutions. Like Confederation of Indian Industry, it is also an institution. Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry, National Association of Software and Service Companies. These are all just a normal associations and institutions which will be helping the startup in various ways. They will be advocating for policy changes. They will give the government some suggestions and ideas on how to develop the startups, how to promote innovation. Like that, they will give suggestions. Indian Angel Network is another angel investment network. We will be seeing in detail about what is angel investment later in the upcoming chapters. But for an introduction, angel investment networks are angel investors. They will give funding for the startup. They will fund the startup in the early stage itself. When you have an idea itself, you can approach the angel investor and get funding. They will help the startup by providing the funding. From these institutions, only two institutions we are going to study in detail, ASSOCHAM and FICCI. First, ASSOCHAM. ASSOCHAM is actively involved in supporting startups and entrepreneurship they are developing. They have brought some key schemes. Some of those schemes are Startup Launchpad. Launchpad means it is for launching the startup. They are going to implement the startup and bring it into the market. It is a platform for startups to showcase their innovation. It is a platform where the startup can showcase their things. We are doing this business. This is our business model. Like that, they can showcase. They can get a networking opportunity there. They can make business pitch sessions. They can also get mentorship there. This is the work of Startup Launchpad. The next thing is Startup Acceleration Program. Accelerator also we will be studying in detail in the later upcoming chapters. But for an introduction, Acceleration Program is a program which is for a short period. From 4 to 6 months or within months only it will be there. In those months, you have to go to an institution. That institution will be the accelerator. It will help you in understanding about product development, sales and marketing, everything. They will give you skill development program. And then they will help you to grow your startup rapidly. In incubator, they will help you to launch in the startup in the market. Till you are ready for the market, they will help you. But in accelerator, even if you have an existing product, they will help you to accelerate your growth. They will help you for growing faster. Same like an accelerator, they will give mentorship, training, capacity building workshop and increase the chances of success in a short period. The next thing is policy advocacy. As I already said, it will give suggestions and give many advice to the government of India about the policy reforms which will support the startup. They will also provide some incubator and working space also they are giving. This is the main schemes provided by ASSOCHAM. Next is FICCI. They are giving a startup accelerator program. Same like above acceleration, it is also giving mentorship, training, networking. Same thing only it is. First, you need to understand what is an accelerator. Whenever you see the word accelerator, these are the things that they are going to do. Mentorship, funding, networking, research facility, that and all they are going to give. The next thing is Investor Connect platform. Investor Connect platform is an online platform where you can connect with the investor. You can pitch your idea, you can secure funding, you can make communication with the investor. Next thing is startup policy advocacy. They will also give suggestion to India for how to develop the startups in India. For that they will give suggestion. They will also conduct startup conclave and summit. There they will promote knowledge exchange, networking, collaboration also they will improve. These are all the main initiatives by FICCI. Both are similar but not identically same. The same thing they are doing is they are providing incubation facility, both of them, acceleration program, both of them are doing, both of them are providing funding, both of them are bringing networking opportunity, like that. They have given different names for the schemes, but the work they are doing is promoting the startup. The next thing we are going to see is Angel Network. Angel Network, as I already said, they will give funding for early stage startup. They will provide seed funding, they will give the mentorship, and they will also give the guidance for the startup. How to approach the Angel Network, how they work, how they support startups. First, you have to have a membership. In the Angel Network, there will be a lot of investors who will be high net worth individuals like Ambani, Adani. There will be business executives, professional, successful entrepreneur. They all will be there. They will be members of the Angel group. In that Angel group, if a startup goes and pitches their idea, if they like the idea, they will provide the funding. The next thing is deal sourcing. Angel networks will search for promising startup ideas. If a startup idea is very good, they will give funding for that. Due diligence. After seeing the startups, they will make a due diligence examination or check on the startup. They will check whether they are properly complying with the legal and professional compliance, they are following the regulations, whether the investment potential is there, whether it can generate revenue, whether the business model is correct or not, intellectual property, whether they have any copyright patent and all, then the team credential, who is working in the management of the startup, that and also they will see. And many startups are brilliant in idea. They have very good idea, but they do not have professional skills for execution. Many startup founders do not know about the legal compliance and what is a business model, how to pitch for investor. Those are all the skills that startup founders usually do not know, and they lack in those skills. That is what this due diligence is going to see, whether they are properly doing those work or not. If not, they will also improve them and then give funding, and they will also mentor for those skills development also. They will ask a question why they are doing the due diligence. For that, you have to select the option that for assessing the viability and investment potential of the opportunity, whether it is viable or not, and whether we can invest or not. For that purpose only they are doing the due diligence. The next thing is investment. They will invest the capital in the startup in exchange for an equity stake. They will ask ownership. 20% equity share you should give to us. Then we will give this much funding. Like that, this will be the agreement. Mentorship and support. They will give mentorship also. They have given some examples for successful startups which gained funding from the angel investors. You can read it by yourself. The next thing is identifying some active angel network. They have given how to find an active angel network. That also you can read it yourself. It is not that much important. And then they have given some examples and some paragraphs about the angel network which are operating in India. They have also given some notable investment of those angel network. You can read this by yourself. It is not that much important. And then one more thing here you have to remember is, this is in this part what it is important is you have to remember the names of the network. They will give you some 4 options and ask you which is not an Indian angel network. Here, everything the example they have given is the angel network in India. So, whatever the angel network given here, it is operating in India. They will ask you a question, give you 4 options, and ask you which is not operating in India. That you have to find out, odd one out. That is one type of question which can come from this topic. That's all about this chapter. Next, we are going to see chapter 6, funding and valuation. In this chapter, we will be seeing how the startups get funding, what is the startup valuation, what are the aspects to be noted in funding and valuation. That we will be seeing in this chapter. First thing in this chapter is that the startups, before approaching for funding, they should have a business idea. That idea should be very good and viable. Business plan also they should have. What is business plan? It will be telling what you should do, what you should not do. First 1 to 3 years of the startup strategy and how it is going to operate, that will be in the business plan. Securing funding. For getting funding from the investor, they should be doing pitching. What is pitching? We already saw. It is a presentation to convince the investor to put money into the startup. Then achieve the milestone. You will be telling some milestone. Within 1 year, we will develop the product. Within 2 years, we will be giving this much. We will be getting this much revenue. We will be having this much customer. That milestone you have to achieve. This is the simple things. Next thing is basics of startup funding. For startup, they have various purpose in mind. For when they approach funding, they will be thinking, if we get this much fund, we will be using this much amount for this and all our purpose. Like that they will be thinking. For that, they should have some clarity. Prepare business plan and funds utilization plan. Business plan means, as I already said, business strategy. And funds utilization plan. If you get the money, where you are going to spend it. That also should have a clear plan. The next thing is why startups need funding for developing their ideas into product or services. They have idea, but they have to convert it into product. For that purpose, they want the funding. It will provide a runway for the startup to survive the initial stages. Startup is already a very uncertain field. 90% of the startups face failure. But in that startup also, if you want to become successful, you will not have a lot of revenue in the starting stage. Only limited revenue or no revenue will be there in the initial stage. In that stage, if you want to conduct your operations, research, customer feedback and all, if you want to do, you will require amount. For that amount only, you are going to funding. That is called as runway. Runway means we already saw in the earlier chapter some key terms which you have to remember relating to the startup field. What is runway? How much time the startup can operate without running out of funds? For that runway only we are seeking the fund. For prototype creation, the startup will use the amount. They will prepare the prototype, giving it to customers, gather the customer feedback. They will make the improvement and launch the product. For that, they want the funding. For product development, we saw an entire chapter relating to product development process, from minimum viable product to product market fit and the marketing campaign, everything we saw. For that process also, we want money. Team hiring, for attracting industry experts and helping them and employing them in our project. For that, we want amount. Working capital, for day-to-day expense, we want the cash. Legal and consulting services. We will be seeing one chapter about the legal consideration for startup. They will be having how to register in DPIIT, how to get funding from investor, how to do certain registration and GST filing on for that and all. Legal and consulting services, you will be requiring funding. Raw material and equipment purchase, you want amount. For getting license, if you are operating in food industry, you need to get the food license. Like that, for every industry, some license will be required. For that also, you want money. For marketing and sales, there will be expenditure. For office space, you want some office building to work on. For that office building also, you will require amount. The next thing is types of startup funding. There are mainly 3 types of funding. Equity financing. The investor will give you the amount, but in exchange, they will get a ownership percentage in the company. This much percentage of the equity shares, it will be belonging to the investor. Next thing is debt financing. This is some kind of loan only. Next thing is grant. Grant means government or any other person will give you a grant. They will ask you to do these milestones. They will ask you to launch the product. Once you launch the product, we will give you 10 lakh rupees. Once you get this much customer, we will give you 10 lakh rupees. Like that, they will give some grant. We will be seeing the difference and the meaning of these things. Equity financing is selling a portion of the company's ownership and then you are getting financing. Debt financing means borrowing. You have to repay with interest. Grants are usually financial, which is given for completing a goal. For example, there will be government schemes in which you will be getting grants if you have innovative ideas and you have this much market capital. Like that, there will be some condition. If you satisfy those conditions, you can apply for the grant and get those financial assistance. Equity financing, there will be no repayment. There will be ownership stake only you will be giving, no repayment. In debt financing, you have to repay. In grant, there is no repayment. When comparing the risk factor, financer, the investor, it will have no guarantee against the investment. It is a very risky thing. Having ownership equity share itself, it is very risky when compared to preference shares and debentures. Startups, they will have to give up a portion of their ownership. They will have to reduce the ownership of the founder and give it to the investor. For a financer in debt component, they will have no control over the operation. Even if you give the money as a loan, you will have no control over the operation of the startup. You have to give some business asset as collateral. In the debt, in the loan, you have to give collateral asset. The next thing is grant. In grant, there is a risk of startup not meeting the goal. You are giving the amount grant to the startup for reaching this much milestone. But if the startup does not reach the milestone, then the amount is waste. Startup have a risk of not receiving a portion of the grant. If the startup does not meet the condition, they will not give the further amount. Threshold of commitment. While in equity financing, the startups have lesser pressure. They do not have to earn more money. They can focus on the product development and other non-monetary aspect. They need not run behind the money. In debt financing, you have to repay within a specific period. So you have to achieve the revenue target. In grant, you have to constantly work towards achieving the milestone. That much customer, that much revenue. For that milestone, you have to work. Return to investor. What is the return for the investor? In equity, it is capital growth. In debt, it is interest payment. In grant, there is no return. Involvement in decision. If an investor gives you equity financing, they can involve in the decision making. In debt financing, the lender will not have any involvement. In grant also, there will be no direct involvement. Sources. If you want equity financing, you can go to angel investor, self-financing, family friends, venture capitalist, crowdfunding, incubator, accelerator. These sources you can go for obtaining the funding by way of equity financing. For loan, you can go to bank, NBFC, government loan scheme. And for grant, you can go to government and corporate grant entities. The next thing is stages and sources of startup funding. There will be different stage of development for startup. First, the startup will be in the pre-seed stage. After that, it will come to the seed stage. After that, it will come to the Series A stage. Then Series B, C, D, E stage. And then it will be coming for the exit stage. These are all the stages in the development of startup. It will be in some kind of life cycle of the startup. It will start in the pre-seed stage and it will end in the exit opportunity. This stage we are going to see it one by one. First thing is pre-seed stage. What is this stage? In this stage, only idea will be there. No physical thing will be there. Only a concept or an idea will be there. For what the founder is asking the funding? For validating the business idea. For proving the business idea that it is a idea with an investment potential and revenue potential. They have to gather the customer feedback relating to the idea. They have to develop a product and then refine it. For those purposes, they are asking the funding. In this stage, it is a very beginning stage, so only low amount of funding is required. The funding sources. In this stage where they can go for funding, they can do self-financing as only low amount is required. Family and friends can support. Business pitch competition. There will be competition like you can showcase your product and business model and investors will give you money. They will not give large amount, but it will be small amount enough for this stage. The next stage we are going to see is seed stage. From the pre-seed stage, now it is coming to seed stage. It is an early phase of development. MVP or prototype is available. Earlier we had only idea. Now we have the prototype or minimum viable product. Now what we want funding for? What we are going to do next with the funding? They are going to engage in field trial. They have the prototype. They will be giving it to a customer for trial. They will be testing the product with a group of potential customer for gathering customer feedback. They will recruit the mentor. They will bring a formal team. Team will be assembled only in the seed stage. In exam, they will ask you in which stage they are engaging in field trial, customer feedback, and then formal team. In which stage these are all happening? You have to tell that seed stage. They will give you 4 options: pre-seed stage, seed stage, like that they will give you. You have to select the correct option. In this stage for funding, you can go to incubator, government loan, angel investor, crowdfunding. I have summarized the entire stage of development of startups in this tabular column. These are the main keywords which they will be asking in the exam, and you have to answer relating to these. If you remember these keywords, it will be enough for remembering the stage of startups. The third stage is Series A stage. They have typically proven the concept. They have proven the concept, developed the MVP, given it to a customer. Now they are gaining market traction. A small amount of customer base is developing for the product. They have initial revenue growth. They are also showing some revenue growth. Now for what they want the funding? Further they have to expand the user base. Now only small amount of customers are there. They have to bring a lot of customers inside. They have to develop the product further and then enter new market. They have to enter new market and introduce their product there. In this stage, they can go for funding for VC funds, venture capital debt funds, and NBFC. These 3 sources they can go for funding. In the first stage, only idea was there. Second stage, we got MVP. In this stage, they have proven the concept and revenue is growing now. Here, there will be what we can say, an urge for accelerating the growth. They have to grow quickly. There will be a requirement for growing quickly. For that, we can go to venture capital. Venture capital will be investing in startups which have great potential and which can accelerate, which can grow rapidly. Only in those things only venture capital will invest. The next thing is Series B, C, D, E stage. They have moved beyond the early growth stage. Early stage completed. Now later stage is coming. Now what they want funding? For market dominance, for selling their product more, and they have to dominate the market. For that they want funding. For dominating the market, they have to further enhance their product, and then they have to prepare for potential exit, because the next stage is exit opportunity. For that also they have to prepare. For this purpose they want the funding. Why they want funding? Because they have become a massive organization. They have completed a Series A stage also. Now they are a big organization, but they want to stay private. That is why they are not issuing initial public offering. They are not going to the stock exchange and making it a public company and then receiving funding from the investor. Large amount of capital is required in this stage. For this purpose, they can go for VC fund, private equity or investment firm, strategic investor, hedge fund. These are all the sources for Series B, C, D, E stage. The next stage is exit opportunity. This is an optional stage. Here, the investor will be realizing their return. The investor will be investing in the startup for earning the returns. That return they will be getting in cash in this stage only. They will be selling their shares. They will be giving up their ownership, and then they will be getting the cash in back. Substantial capital for further expansion. Here they have already become a big organization. Now they have to further expand. For that, a large amount of capital is required. For that, they can make some exit opportunity like merger acquisition, initial public offering. The founder itself can buy back the shares from the investor. Those opportunities are available. It will enhance the credibility, visibility in the market. Now, if a company is launching an IPO, it will be a big talk in the market, and everyone will be knowing about the company. They can go for IPO, merger acquisition. They can sell the shares to the secondary market, or the founders can buy the shares back from the investors. In exit opportunity, there are 4 kind of things. IPO. In IPO, the shares will be offered to the public. Public offering will happen. Merger and acquisition will be an amalgamation of 2 or more companies. Secondary offer. You will be selling the shares to other investors in the secondary market. And then shares will be bought back by the founders. In the early stage, the founder did not have money, so they came to the investor and sold their ownership stake. Now it has become a big organization, and the founder will have money. So the founder will repurchase the share from the investor or the venture capital firm which they earlier introduced as an investor. These are all the important things in the stages of startup life cycle. The next thing is prerequisites of funding. For getting funding for the startup, what are all the precedent conditions? Before going to funding, you have to complete these things. What are all those things? First thing is assessing the need for funding. In other words, we can say this is the steps for getting funding for a startup. First, you have to find the need for funding. Why you want the funding? That purpose you have to find out. Then investment readiness, whether you are ready for the investment, that you have to find out. Preparation of pitch deck. For business pitching, you have to prepare the pitch deck. You have to target the investor. Then the due diligence will be done by the investor, as we already saw. Then term sheet will be happening. Term sheet is like an agreement between the investor and the startup founder. Like this will be the amount of investment, this will be the capital structure. Everything will be given in detail in that agreement. It is a non-binding agreement, but it is like a provisional agreement. It will be there. We will be seeing all those things in detail. First, we can see the assessing the need for funding. Assessing the need for funding, in this step, they will see how much funding do you want, why do you need the funding, purpose for the funding, they have to tell it clearly. And then financial forecast they have to prepare. Revenue projection, if you give us this much funding, we will generate this much revenue. That they have to show with numbers. Expense control and planning, how much expense will be there, how we are going to manage that. That also they should be telling clearly before funding. Reasons for funding, why the funding will be done after the funding, how they will utilize the funding. For that, product development they will do, scalability and growth, talent acquisition they will do, market expansion they will do. By these activities they will spend that amount. This also they will be telling. The next thing is assessing the investment readiness, whether you are ready for the investment. First thing is, for that the investors will check whether there is revenue growth and market position, whether you have any sales in the market and you have a market position, and you should have some revenue growth. Revenue should be growing, and then the investors will analyze and they will calculate whether the favorable return on investment is coming, whether attractive returns are there. If there is attractive returns, they will immediately give funding to you. Next thing is time to break even and profitability. If the startup has reached a stage where it can sell and make profit and break even, cover all the expenses, whether the startup has reached that stage, that they will check. Uniqueness and competitive advantage, whether it has a unique product and whether it is advantageous when compared to the competitors, that also they will see. Entrepreneurial vision and future plan also they will check. Reliable, passionate and talented team, whether the management team is proper or not, that also they will check. Next thing is preparation of pitch deck. For pitch deck, we already saw in the chapter of pitching and presentation how we have to pitch, what are the important aspects, clarity, confidence, compelling, everything we saw. In that, they are giving a summary for the same. It is a visual representation. In that, we have to give an introduction, problem statement should be given, solution we should give, market opportunity we have to clearly explain, business model we have to tell it clearly, traction, how much customers we have currently, that we have to project there, and then team, who are the management team, financial projections you have to show, ask how much is the amount of investment that you expect from the investor, that you have to tell, and then the call to action. After this meeting, what should the investor do, that you should tell clearly. Next thing is investor targeting. Every venture capital firm operates according to an investment thesis. They will have one set of rules and conditions. Only if the startup meet those conditions or they are coming into the scope of the venture capital firm, only then they will give the funding. They will have some geographic focus. They will tell some sector. Only in technology sector we will give, like that they will tell. And then they will also focus on the unique value proposition. Another thing which they will see is that the preferred stage of investment, whether seed stage or pre-seed stage or series A stage or exit opportunity, they will have their own boundaries and scope. Only in those things they will invest. For targeting the investor, what the startup has to do is that they have to review the past investment. For example, if you are looking at Indian Angel Network or any venture capital firm, you have to see the past investment in the earlier period in which startup and all they have invested. What is the situation of the startup now? That all you have to see. Active investor you have to see. Sector preference, whether the venture capital firm will make funding to your sector, that you have to analyze. Average ticket size, if they are investing, in average how much amount they are giving, that you have to see. Level of involvement, whether they are very deeply involved in the management or they are just giving the amount and just monitoring, not involved much in the management, that also you have to see. And then there will be due diligence by the investor. They will see whether the project is viable and the investment potential is there or not. They will check the background, they will check the financial decision and all. By this they will do the due diligence. And then they will make a provisional agreement, that is called a term sheet. As I already said, it is a non-binding list of proposition. If we enter into a funding agreement, these and all will be the conditions. These and all will be the important terms and definitions and rules and all. This is a major points of engagement. If we two are working together, these and all should be the conditions. It will contain valuation, investment structure, management structure, changes to share capital. These are all the main aspects which will be covered in the term sheet. We will be seeing this thing later in a very detailed manner in this chapter itself. So don't worry. Next thing is quantifying the seed capital. If the venture capital firm or investment firm is giving you some seed capital, how much should be the seed capital? How much money you want? That's how you will decide. First thing, you have to evaluate the immediate financial requirement. Immediately, what are all the expenses you are having? How much fund you want immediately? That you have to identify. Next thing is you have to prepare a budget. After preparing the budget, you will know about the overall financial position. Next thing is you have to see the potential funding sources. From where you can secure the funding, that you have to see. Contingency planning. If you encounter any emergency, how you will handle that. For that, how much money you have to keep it aside, that you have to check. Establish clear milestone. You have to establish clear milestone. Within 1 year, I will do this. Within 1.5 years, I will do this. Within 2 years, I will complete this much work. That all you have to very clearly plan. Next thing is base to quantify seed capital. How much money you want. That how you will decide. First thing is cost-based approach. You can identify the total cost that will be incurred, and for that cost you can ask the funding. Milestone-based approach. Milestone means in a project there will be different levels. First you have to initiate, then you have to develop the product, then you have to improve based on the feedback, then you have to launch. Before that you have to get some license, and you have to overall you have to do some refinement. That and all there will be different stages, and that stage you have to create it as a milestone. For each and every milestone, for reaching that, how much expense will be there, how much revenue will be generated from that milestone, how much we can ask from the investor. That you have to plan accordingly. In milestone, there is one important thing is that there will be large R&D projects like research and development. In that, there will not be any revenue and there will not be any fixed timeline also. You have to do the research continuously. If there is any breakthrough, then you can tell it as a milestone. That milestone will be set earlier itself, but we cannot tell the fixed time period upon which the milestone will be completed. We cannot say that within 6 months we will do this, within 1 month we will do this. Like that we cannot say. Only when that milestone is reached, we can tell that it is reached. There will be no fixed time period. The next thing is market analysis. You can do market research also for finding the amount of investment. Financial projections. You can make the financial forecast and projection using experts in financial things. So by that you can also identify the seed capital. Scenario analysis. In advanced financial management CA final subject, we would have learned about scenario analysis, sensitivity analysis. Those type of methods also you can use to identify the seed capital. Professional advice. You can seek advice from professional mentors and industry experts. The next thing is financial modeling basics for startups. What is financial modeling? You are going to forecast the revenue, you are going to predict the expense, you are going to make a cash flow projection, profitability analysis, scenario analysis, valuation modeling, everything you are going to do. All the aspects relating to the financial health of the startup that you are going to predict over the lifetime of the startup. This is called financial modeling basics for startups. This is very important because you are going to show to the investor how much you are going to earn, how much you are going to make the expense, how you will utilize the fund, everything you are going to tell. So this is also very important for startups. Next thing is modern tools for financial analysis. In the modern age, we have artificial intelligence, machine learning, and many software also we have. For those software, we can use it for doing the financial projections. We have different types of accounting software. We have financial planning and analysis, FP&A software, and then business intelligence tool we have, and then financial dashboards, Power BI, like that we can use for business intelligence and financial dashboard. Forecasting and modeling, for that purpose itself, separate tools are there. That also we can use. And then expense management software. They have given different purpose on for which purpose, what are all the software available. That list they have given. I don't want to waste the time by reading the name of the software. You can read this after watching this video from the notes I have provided. Then there are India specific tech tools. In India, in our local environment, we have these type of tools for startups. Tally ERP9, Soho Books, ClearTax, Razorpay, Profit Books, Quico, Sahi GST. These are all the platforms and software available in India. The next thing is how to approach angel investors and VC firms. You can go to startup and pitch deck competition. You can go. You can attend to the startup event. You can use online platform to connect. You can seek introduction from the local network. If you have any local network in your district level or state level, you can go there and ask for connection. Then you can go for incubator and accelerator. We will be seeing that in detail in the next chapter. We can craft a pitch deck and you can directly approach the investor. That also you can do. This is a step-by-step guide for approaching investor. First thing is you have to prepare a pitch. You have to tell the business idea, value proposition, problem, solution, uniqueness. That all you have to explain. Next thing is research investor. Identify what are all the investors surrounding you. Next thing is prepare a pitch deck. Prepare a slide presentation using all these elements, and then use visuals. Everything you have to use and prepare a pitch deck. Reach out to investors. You have to meet the investors and convince them to fund your project. Next thing is pitch your startup. That is the same thing. You are giving presentation to your startup. Then follow up and close the deal. This is the last step. For that you want patience, preparation and persistence. These are all very important for securing funding. This is some interesting stories about funding across the globe. This is not much important. Just you can read it once for learning different stories for startups who secure funding all over the world. The next thing is we have to understand the term sheet, investor agreement and equity dilution. These are all some important terms which you have to understand. In term sheet, it contains the key terms and conditions. If the investor is investing, this will be the terms and conditions. In that, there will be an introduction. Who are the parties involved? How much amount they are going to invest? That and all will be there. Next, valuation and investment details. What is the value of the startup? How much investment they are going to do? And then after investing that, what will be the valuation? This and all will be there. Investment structure, whether they are going to give it as preference share or equity share or debenture or those things will be there here. And then investor stake, whether he will have voting rights, and then liquidation preference. If at any emergency situation or any unfavorable situation, we are selling the assets and winding up the startup in liquidation process, who will get the first preference in repayment? How will the distribution of assets happen? That and all will be there. Founder vesting. Founder means startup founder, the person who started the startup. Founder vesting means giving some shares to the founder. They will be implementing it like a share-based payment plan, and then he will be earning the shares after the end of vesting period. That is called the founder vesting. That terms also will be there. Governance and control. Who will control the startup? What will be the management team? Board composition, voting rights, everything will be there. Rights and protection. What are the rights for the investor? If the investor wants to protect the amount invested, he will need to have certain rights. Like he can he can stop the startup from making risky investment. That and all he can do. Those right and protection, what are all given there. The next thing is exit strategy. How the investor will exit. Like we already saw in the stage of development of startup, the final stage is exit opportunity. There will be IPO, merger and acquisition, secondary market selling, buyback. That also will be there here. Legal and regulatory consideration. What are all the legal compliance which should be followed? Conditions precedent. What are all the conditions before funding? These should be completed. You have to complete the due diligence. You have to complete the approval. That and all will be given here. Expiration and binding nature. Now, what is the duration of this agreement? Within this state, if you do not sign this fully, it will be expired. It will be expiring. Those things also will be there. The next thing is, apart from the above conditions, these provisions will also be there. Anti-dilution provisions. What is anti-dilution provisions? Earlier, the startup founder had 100% ownership. Now, when he comes to the funding, he is giving up some ownership to the investor. For example, we can take that after the fundraising, 80% is with the founder and 20% is with the investor. If we go for further fundraising and more investment, the new investor will gain some ownership. The ownership percentage will be reducing for both the founder and the existing investor. This is also one problem. For that also there will be anti-dilution provisions. This is called dilution. Liquidation preference. As I already said, the repayment of preference. And then conversion rights, convertible securities, convertible debentures, convertible preference share, that also will be there. Redemption right, how the shares for debenture will be repaid, the terms and conditions for that also can be included. Information rights, like some trade secrets, some financial information which are secret, not openly told to the public, that are also how it will be managed, who have the access, that and all will be there. Then board representation, who has the right to appoint the board director, that also will be there. Founder restriction, if there will be some restriction for the founder, like non-compete clause, non-solicit clause, we know, right, we cannot compete from with an organization after leaving the organization. If we had signed a non-competing agreement, that clause also will be there. Employee stock option plan, relating to that also information will be given. Pre-emption rights, if there is any right for the employees or founders to purchase shares at a discount rate, that also will be there. Dispute resolution mechanism, if there is any problem, how you will solve it, whether through arbitration, that also you can include it. Investor agreement and equity dilution. Investor agreement means the term sheet we saw, it is a provisional agreement. This is the final agreement when signing with the investor. Investor agreement is the agreement signed with the investor. In this, there will be it is also called as shareholders agreement or subscription agreement. Important things covered in it are amount of investment, securities issued, whether it is debenture or preference share, that will be there. Rights and protection to safeguard the investment. Then how they will ensure that investors have a voice, whether they will have a board representation or not, that will be there. Non-compete and non-solicit clause, that will be there. Exit option will also be there. Equity dilution, as I already said, when startup goes for further fundraising rounds, the ownership percentage of existing shareholder will reduce. This is called equity dilution. What are the reason for equity dilution? You are getting money from new investor, you are issuing ESOP, you are issuing convertible securities, and then you can protect the investor from dilution using anti-dilution provisions. Managing equity dilution, you can manage this by using favorable investment terms. You can do carefully about the equity incentive plans. You can communicate openly. You have to focus on the growth and value creation. You have to tell this openly to your investors. The next thing is startup valuation. In this chapter, we have two components. First is funding, second is valuation. Funding part is completed. Now we are going to start the valuation part. Startup valuation is both an art and a science. This is an important statement. If they ask an exam whether it is an art or a science, you have to tell it is both an art and a science. They have to see these factors while considering the valuation of the startup. Market potential, whether there is any scalability potential for the market, revenue and growth, whether they will give long-term revenue, and then technology and innovation. If there is technology, it will definitely be a viable startup. Investor sentiment, whether the investor sentiment is affected or not. Macroeconomic conditions, the global interest rate, global recession, global economic stagnation, those everything, economic factors will have an impact on the investor sentiment. This they will check making the valuation of the startup. Sector specific consideration. For a specific sector, there will be specific problems and advantage. That also will be considered. Global comparison. That also they will do. When in the same industry, in the global market, this company is properly working. They will make the comparison and they will make the valuation. Stage of development, as I already said, the stage of development will influence the valuation. Exit opportunity will also be there. That also they will see for deciding the valuation. The next thing is, some aspects entrepreneurs can refer while negotiating their startup valuation. For startup valuation, you can tell certain things and increase the startup valuation. You can tell the cash flow dynamics. We will get this much cash flow. The startup valuation should be more because of the cash flow. You can mitigate risk by using discount rate. If you have an uncertainty in a cash flow, you can use discount rate for reducing the uncertainty. Highlight growth potential. You have to tell clearly about the growth potential of the startup. You can use comparative analysis. You can compare with the competitors and tell about your startup. You can enhance your valuation by using these things. You can tell the evaluators about the stage of development and the importance of it. And then you can tell the exit strategy also. By this, you can influence the valuation of your startup. This is the this is the complete information about this chapter, funding and valuation. Next, we are going to see chapter 7, legal considerations for a startup. What are all the legal compliances which should be followed by the startup, and legally what are all the options available to them? That we will be seeing in this chapter. First thing we are going to see is what is legal compliance, why it is important. Legal compliance means following the laws. If you want to follow the laws, you have to search for legal experts and you have to get opinion from them. And you have to make some registration fees, that also you have to pay. This is the cost of legal compliance. It is very important for startups. If you are following the laws properly, what are all the advantage? First thing, it will attract the investor. If you are not following the laws properly, it will be a risk for the investor. If the government orders for closing your business because you are not following the laws, then the amount invested by the investors will be it will be a loss for the investor, so that they will expect for the startups to comply with the laws. It will build the reputation for the startup. It will help in securing the funding. If the company is following the laws, automatically there will be proper governance, and then there will be accurate records will be maintained by the startup. Ethical standards will also be followed by the startup properly. It will help the startup to expand globally. If you are going to expand internationally, then if you are following the laws of India, it will be very beneficial for you. The next thing is, if you do not follow the law, what are all the risks? You will be in the risk of fines. There may be penalties imposed on you. You may face lawsuits. You may also close your business if it is a very important problem. The next thing is, if you have to choose the type of entity for your business, whether you are going to operate as a sole proprietor or a partner or a LLP or private limited company, that thing you have to decide. For that, we have to see the types of entities first. First, we have sole proprietorship. It is the simplest form, which has a single individual, only limited formality, minimum formality, unlimited personal liability will be there. I think we all know what is unlimited personal liability. And partnership, we have two types: normal partnership, LLP. In normal partnership, there will be 2 or more partners. In LLP, along with that, you will get a limited liability protection. And then private limited company, it is the most common and preferred choice. Everyone will opt for private limited company if they are starting a startup. It will have a separate legal entity existence and with a limited liability. Minimum there should be 2 directors and 2 shareholders. Maximum 200 shareholders are allowed there. Next thing is 1-person company. Only 1 person will be there. It will have a single person ownership of the company. There will also be limited liability. Public limited companies for larger business who wants to raise capital from the public. And for limited liability partnership, we already know what is it. It has the benefits of limited liability, but the partners will be managing the business directly. And then small business enterprises, MSME sector, for coming under that classification, there will be certain conditions which you have to meet. It will be based on the investment in the plant and machinery and equipment by the startup. And then there are some startup legal entity format which are in the outside India, especially in the United States. C corporation. This you need not see that much carefully, but I am telling it anyway. C corporation, they have limited liability. They can attract the investment by stock. And then S corporation. S corporation has to pass the corporate income, losses deduction, etc. to the members of the company. If you are a member in a S corporation, all the profit loss of the S corporation, how much you are holding in the share, that much you have to pay from your own personal income tax. In your personal income tax return, you will be showing this much share I have in this company, this much profit that company has earned. In that, this much profit is attributed to me. I will pay this much tax on the profit. That you have to tell to the government. Benefit corporation. This is like a not-for-profit organization, but their main goal is they have to create social and environmental impact. Along with that, they have to earn profit also. Two dual goal they have here. First thing is impact. Second thing is profit earning. Both the goals they have to complete here. How to select the right entity type? You have to see these things for selecting the right entity type. First thing is formation formalities. If you select sole proprietorship, there will be no much paperwork. Only important license you have to obtain. Whether if it is required for the specific sector in which you are operating. Partnership. There should be a written agreement for profit sharing ratio and all. There should be written agreement. Limited liability company and private or public company. There will be a lot of paperwork. You have to file it with the government. NPO. If you are an NPO, you have to apply to the government for getting tax exemption. The next thing is liability. Sole proprietorship and partnership, there will be personal liability. LLC, limited liability company, there will be limited liability. Corporation, in corporation there will be no personal liability. Only liability will be limited to amount invested. Expansion, if you want to go to a large scale business, if you want to become a large scale operation, then limited liability company and corporation will be suitable for you, because there will be limited liability, you can pass through the tax, you can easily add the new members. In corporation there will be different stock classes, equity, preferred, debenture. You can give these to investors and expand globally. In sole proprietorship and partnership there will be personal liability and disadvantage. This is a disadvantage, so you will not opt for expansion. And taxation, LLC has a taxation benefit, like members will pay tax on the personal tax return for the profit or loss of LLC. As I already said, it is a pass-through tax system. For corporations, there will be low corporate tax rate, tax deduction will also be there. The next thing is not suitable for tax planning. Sole proprietorship and partnership are not proper for tax planning purpose. Tax rate are same as individual for sole proprietorship. In partnership, pass-through tax benefit is there, but there will be difficulty in claiming certain deduction. This is one problem in partnership tax planning. Social media and e-commerce transaction. If you are going to have a lot of social media transaction and e-commerce transaction, LLC and corporation will be suitable for you. Disadvantage is that sole proprietorship and partnership cannot handle a large amount of e-commerce transaction. Closure and exit. If you want to close the business and exit easily and quickly, LLC and corporation will be useful for you. You can sell or transfer your ownership interest easily, and then it will be a smooth process. For corporation, you can sell the shares in a secondary market. It will also be a smooth process. In sole proprietorship or partnership, you have to pay off all the liabilities from your personal assets before closing the business. In partnership, you have to distribute the assets during dissolution. In that also, there will be a problem between the partners. These are all the problems in the entity, and you have to see these considerations and then select the right entity type. For registering in LLP, you have to visit the MCA portal. You have to obtain DSC for the partners. You have to obtain DIN for the partners. You have to file the Run LLP form for reserving the name. You have to file the LLP1 form, pay the registration fees. You can register your LLP. Next thing is private company. Same, you have to obtain digital signature certificate. You have to obtain DIN. You have to reserve the name. You have to fill the SPICE form, pay the registration fees. You can get the registration for the company. Next thing is good to have registrations. What are all the optional registration? But it is good if you have it. GST registration, MSME registration, trademark registration, PAN and TAN registration. These are all very familiar to the CS students. I need not explain a lot on these. FSSAI, food security registration if you are operating in the food industry. Professional tax registration also you can do. And then ESI and EPF also you have to do registration. If it is good if you have the registration. Startup India recognition. If you want, you can also register for Startup India under the Startup India portal under the DPAIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. These are all the types of registrations which you can take. Then, startup equity split among the founders and equity investing. What is equity split? When starting the startup, there will be a equity share. There will be the total number of equity shares. You will be starting the startup with some kind of investment only. In that investment, how much share is attributed to this co-founder? There will be number of persons who will be starting it. So, there should be a share in the ownership. That is what they are telling. For determining the share in the ownership, in the beginning, how much share each person has in the startup. For that, you have to assess the contribution. What each person is contributing to the startup. That you have to see. Value proposition. Every co-founder, what he is bringing to the business. That also you have to examine. Next thing is negotiation and discussion. You have to negotiate openly and then communicate properly to get a proper discussion. And then you can use equity splitting tools. This is a very important point. There is a model called as a slicing pie model. It will decide the equity contribution based on individual contribution over time. In this model, if you use this, it will automatically adjust the equity dynamically. If there are two co-founders, each person does some contribution. They are giving some capital, they are bringing some connection, they are bringing some expertise, they are getting some networking and all. If those things happen, you can input it into the slicing pie model and it will adjust the equity contribution based on the contribution made by the individual partners. The next thing is formalized agreement. If you decide all this, formalize it with a written agreement. It will be clear and mutual benefit will be given for all the people. And then, importance of startup equity split. What is startup equity split? We saw in the beginning how much share each co-founder has in the startup. Now, what are the importance? Why we should do the startup equity split clearly? It will give the incentive. If a person has some share in the ownership, he will work properly for maintaining his own share and accumulating the wealth. Retention. If you give the share correctly, he will be working in the same startup. He will not be going to the other companies. Talent attraction. If you give proper incentive and reward, everyone will be curious and interesting, and they will be wanting to work in your company. Investor confidence. It will give confidence to the investor also that you are properly planning and doing everything. Things to consider while deciding equity split. If you are doing an equity split, these are all the things that you should consider. Future dilution. When you are deciding the share of ownership for each co-founder, you should predict the future dilution also. If you go to fundraising in the investor pitch or somewhere you are going and you are getting some investment, you have to give up the ownership. That also you should consider. If you make further fundraising activities, your existing stake will be reduced. For that also you have to make provision. Vesting, you can also create some provision or program or scheme for ESOPs, share-based payment. If you work for 3 years in this company, you will get 100 shares. Like that, you can make some scheme, and you can make the vesting period also. Exit scenario: if a founder wants to go out, or he wants to retire, what will be the effect? What will happen to the share of ownership? Who will purchase it, or will it go back to the common pool of shares? That also you have to decide. And then legal and tax implication. What is the legal advice and tax advice which you can get for these decisions about the startup equity split? That also you have to consider. Equity vesting. Equity vesting means, as I already said, it is some kind of share-based payment plan in which if you work for a certain number of years, then you will get some reward. Like you will get this much shares, or you will be able to getting shares you will be able to purchase the shares at a lower price than the market price. This is the basic logic of equity vesting. I think we all know about it. If you bring equity vesting, it will bring in commitment and contribution for the co-founders. If someone leaves the company before the vesting period, they will not get the shares. It will also bring a stability in the company ownership. It will be in form of a deferred compensation. You are getting the work done now, but you are going to give the shares and payment later on. This is the benefit of ESOP and share-based payment plan. It will encourage the founder to remain in the startup itself. It will create a sense of teamwork and shared purpose. It will bring ownership to the startup founders, and then it will also be used for talent retention. Smooth transition will happen. If you give this much shares and equity vesting and all, if a founder leaves also, we can properly plan it. The next thing is ESOP planning and other best practices. Employee stock option plan means you are offering employees a stake. You are giving a part of ownership of the company to the employees. You are giving to the employees a right, the right to purchase the shares of the company at a low predetermined price. For startups, there will be limited cash flow, so you need not waste resources on giving incentives to employees. You can give motivation to the employees without affecting the cash flow. You can use the cash for other developmental activities, and you can use that for development. In ESOP, you have three advantages: attraction, retention, and motivation. You can attract top talent, you can retain the people who are working, motivation also you can give to the employees. Things to consider while implementing ESOP. You have to consider the same legal and regulatory complaints you have to do. Equity allocation. How much you are giving to each co-founder, how much you are giving to the investor, how much will be the portion for ESOP, that you should properly plan. Vesting schedule. How much years you should work in the company for getting the share, how much price it will be for the shares, that also you should decide. Valuation. For deciding the number of shares to give to employees, you have to decide the valuation properly. Total valuation of the startup you have to do. Communication and education. You have to educate the employees. You have to spread awareness between the employees about the ESOP and the benefit and advantages of it. The next thing is ESOP success examples and best practices. There are 3 companies examples are given: Flipkart, Google, and Salesforce. These are the companies which implemented ESOP properly and achieved great success. The next thing is best practices for founders. In ESOP, these are certain best practices which are followed in the industry. If you follow this, it will be good for your startup. Start early. Implementing ESOP early is a very good thing. Transparency. You should be very transparent, and you should do open communication with the employees. If you do that, it will bring trust in between the employees. You should regularly review the ESOP and make any changes if required. You should educate the employees regarding the ESOP. You should celebrate the success. If any milestone is achieved, you should celebrate the success with the employees. If you do that, they will feel very motivated to stay in the organization. Co-founder and co-founder agreement. As we already said, co-founders are the team of people who begin the startup. They will have a share in the ownership. They will initiate and establish the new venture. They will have a shared vision and passion. They will bring diverse skill experience. There will be a number of co-founders. Each one will bring different experience and different skill. Support and collaboration. Everyone will be some form of emotional support if there is any problem also. And then risk sharing. If there are a number of people, the risk borne by individual will be little. So there will be more motivation to expand and do business properly. Network and resources. Everyone will bring their own connection resources to the startup. It will be beneficial for the growth of the startup. Long-term stability. If you have a lot of founders in each and every department, there will be a founder who will be taking care of the department. It will bring long-term stability to the organization. Lock-in period. When you are giving ownership equity shares to the co-founder, you will be giving it with an agreement for a lock-in period. The co-founder will not be able to sell the shares or leave the company within for 3 years. He should compulsorily work in the startup. Like that, some form of agreement will be there. If you want to prepare founder agreement, these are all the checklist. You have to see the title of each founder. You have to define the responsibility of each founder. You have to create the limit. Till which limit this founder can work. That you should determine. Next thing is, will you allow for change in the founder role? Whether the founder role can change or not. You should decide the decision making authority, time limit for decision, what will be happening in case of a deadlock, if in important decision, how you will reach the consensus, how you will make a proper decision, that you have to tell. And then how decision will be taken, voting rights percentage to pass a resolution, how much people should vote to pass a resolution, that and all you should decide. Do you separate equity from decision rights, that you should tell. Who will represent the company on the board, whether the founders will have who don't have board representation will have observer rights if they are not a part of the board meeting, but they can come and view the board meeting or not, that you should decide. How you will allocate equity, that you should tell. Whether you have time based or milestone based vesting terms, vesting period you have, or this much milestone up to gaining 1 lakh revenue, there will be vesting period. If the company reaches 1 lakh revenue, each co-founder will receive 10 lakh shares. Like that, if you are keeping that milestone based, that also you should specifically tell. What will happen if a founder leaves? What will be happening if the founder leaves, and whether there is any right to buy the unvested shares? And then if a founder wants to sell, what will be the rules? What will be happening in case of acquisition or sale of the company? How you will attract the new people to join the organization? And then commitment questions. How will each founder commit? How much time each founder will give for the startup? What will be considered as a full-time working? What is considered as a part-time working? Everything detailed should be there in the founder agreement. What is the obligation of each founder? What is an IP provision? Intellectual property provision, what you have included. Financial obligation of each co-founder. What is the capital contribution and how you are going to use the capital. What are the network and connections the co-founder is going to share with the startup. That also is an important thing. Next thing is drafting of co-founder agreement. You are formalizing the partnership by way of co-founder agreement. There should be clarity, transparency and peace of mind. If you make a co-founder agreement, there will be peace of mind for all the co-founders. Co-founder agreement will have these things. There will be introduction, roles and responsibilities. What are the roles and responsibilities of each co-founder? Equity ownership, percentage of shares allocated will be there. Capital contribution, how much capital each co-founder has contributed. Who will be taking the decision? Framework for decision making will be there. Intellectual property rights for if there is any patent, copyright or trademark, how will it will be managed? That will be there. Confidentiality and non-disclosure. The co-founder should not tell certain confidential things about the startup to the public or outside information. They should not expose it to the outside world. Those related provisions will also be there. Non-compete, non-solicitation. The co-founder should not start a competing business for this much time period. That also will be there. Term and termination. For how much period the co-founder will be there. What will be the termination terms. That will be there. Succession planning. If the co-founder dies or expires, what will be happening for his stake? Is there any succession planning? That also will be forming a part of the founder agreement. And then governing law and jurisdiction. Whatever you are making the agreement terms, it will be coming under which law, whether it will be subject to the Indian law or United States law, what is the governing law for the agreement, and then miscellaneous provision like indemnification, insurance, assignment. Those are all the things which we already know as CA students, so I am not elaborating into those things. When you are starting a startup, legal consideration, you have to consult with legal professional, and these act we have to keep it in mind. Arbitration, Indian Contract Act, Companies Act, Partnership Act and LLP Act. We have already studied all these things in our CA curriculum. The next thing is IPR, intellectual property rights, trademark, copyright, patent. We are going to study in detail about that. What is a patent? Patent will be for innovative product. And then trademark, what it is doing, it will protect the brand identity. What will copyright do? It will safeguard the creative work. These are all the individual working of these three things. Patent for innovation, and then trademark for identity, copyright for creative work. Patent is a legal protection given to the inventor. If you are inventing a new thing, you can get a patent for it. If you get a patent, others will not be able to make, use or sell the invention without your permission. The patent will be valid for 20 years from the filing date. After 20 years, you have to renew the patent. Next thing is copyright. Copyright is a legal protection again granted to the creators of original work. If you are doing some musical work or art form, you can copyright it. What is the period of copyright? Creator's lifetime plus 70 years. Without your permission, the other people cannot use your copyrighted work. Creator's lifetime plus 70 years is the duration. Trademark is a recognizable sign, design or expression. For example, the design logo for Puma, the logo for Nike shoes, those are all trademarks. Other people cannot use it without the permission of Nike. Okay, the next thing is how to register the patent. The validity of patent, as we already saw, is 20 years from the filing date. First step for patent filing is you have to determine the patent eligibility. Whether the invention which you did is eligible for patent or not. Whether it is innovative, whether it has a novelty or industrial applicability is there or not. That all you should check. Next thing is conduct a patent search. You have to check whether any other person has already invented this and got a patent. That you should check. Prepare a patent application. Prepare a detailed patent application using a patent attorney, or you can use some legal advisors for doing this. You have to file the application via online, or you can give it through physical mode. And then examination and publication. When you submit your application, the examination will happen. They will check whether your application is proper or not. After checking if it is proper, they will publish it in the Indian Patent Journal. Indian Patent Journal is the list of inventions which are patented by Indians. Next thing is request for examination. There is another type also. First thing is, if you submit your application, immediately they will start the examination. In the second type, you can make an application with a special provision without a request for examination initially. You can tell that do not examine the patent application until I give you the request. You can tell like that. Now what they will do, you will submit the application, they will take it and keep it, they will store it. They will not examine your patent. Only after your separate request, you have to make a separate request. After that they will start the examination process. After that only they will check your patent application. After that examination process, if they ask any questions, you have to respond promptly within time limit given in the notice given to you. Grant of patent. After examining your application, they will give the patent to you. Maintenance and renewal. If you want the patent to be working properly, you should pay the maintenance fees for a fixed time period. It will be given by the patent agreement itself. Next thing is enforcement. If anyone uses your patented information or copyrighted thing or trademark identity, if someone uses it, you can take legal action against them because you have the legal document of patent, trademark or copyright with you. This is the end of chapter. So we saw about the legal consideration for a startup. First thing we saw is what is the entity type and how you have to select the entity type. Next thing is equity split, share of ownership of each co-founder. Next thing is ESOP planning, employee stock option plan that we saw. Co-founder agreement also we saw. Then last we completed with IPR. This is the entire chapter. That's all about the chapter 7. Next we are going to see about chapter 8, startup incubator and accelerator. In this chapter 8 we will be seeing about what is an incubator, what are the types of incubator, how they will be helping the startup. Same things we are going to see for accelerators also. First thing we can see what is an incubator. For incubator, it is a nurturing environment for startups. As I said earlier in the chapter itself, I have given a brief introduction for incubators. They will help the startups in mentorship, networking opportunity, funding opportunity, and they will also give access to research facilities and all. That I already said. The same thing is the meaning of the incubator. They will give you mentorship, networking opportunity, funding opportunity, and then they will give you access to resources. Like they will give you office space, they will give you the infrastructure for research, connection also they will give you. The next thing is we are going to see history of incubators. Incubators' origin is in the 1950s and 1960s. First business incubator was the Batavia Industrial Center. It was established in Batavia, New York, in the United States. The founder name is Joseph Mancuso. You did not remember this. The main thing here you have to remember is Batavia Industrial Center. It is in the New York. The National Business Incubation Association is one of the important incubators in the United States. The total number of incubators in the world is 7,000 according to a report by this incubator. The next thing we are going to see is types of incubators. First thing here, what you have to very importantly remember is these things the incubators giving to the startup: mentorship, networking, funding, resources. Whenever I say incubator is helping the startup, you have to remember these things. Incubator will give the startup these 4 things. The next thing is types of incubator. They will support the startup across various sectors and industries. It is a general business incubator. General business incubator means it will support the startup in various sector and industry. It will not make sector specific consideration and all. It will help the startup in all the sector. And then industry specific incubator. As the name suggests, it will be helping the startup only in a particular sector or industry. Next, university affiliated incubator. They will be operating within a university or they will be having a partnership with a university. Only within that university they will operate and help the students of that university. Next, corporate incubator. These will be established by big companies, corporations like Google and Apple. It is for promoting the innovation and entrepreneurship within the company. In general business incubator, the target audience is early stage entrepreneurs. That is, we already saw the stages of development of startups. We saw pre-seed stage, seed stage, Series A stage. These 3 stages are the early development stage. In the Series B, C, D, E stage, we have moved out of the early growth stage. So they will help the entrepreneurs in the early stage. And then in the industry specific incubator, they will help the entrepreneur with any idea related to the industry. Next thing is university affiliated incubator. Their target audiences, their main motive is to commercialize the university research. In university, the students will do research and innovation and all for project and PhD work. Those innovation, the incubator will help you to commercialize, to convert it into a startup viable product. Next thing is corporate incubator. Their target audiences, startups aligned with the corporation's business interest and strategic objective. There will be some startups which have the same objective as Google, same objective as Apple, same business interest as Apple and Google. Those startups they can join the corporate incubator. Every incubator will give more or less the same kind of services: mentorship, networking, funding, office space. Mentorship, networking, resources, research facilities, academic expertise. They will here it is because it is affiliated with the university. There will be student talent they will take, and in collaboration they will be doing with the university. Here also resources, expertise, partnership, and collaboration. Here, since it is an industry specific, there will be everything support will be given according to the industry. Mentorship will be given, but it will be sector specific. Like that, it will be specifically to the sector. The next thing is why we want incubator. Why incubator is important. Incubator will give valuable resources to the startup. It will focus on that. It will increase the credibility of the startup. Access to resources. It will give funding opportunity, mentorship, office space, connection and all it will give. Validation and credibility. If you join an incubator, your credibility in the market will be rising. Network opportunity. You can network with a lot of people. You can gain a lot of connection. Learning and development. They will teach you a lot about startup. You will not know about legal compliance and all. You will have a business idea and you know how to convert it into a product. But you don't know about business strategy, business planning and all. They will teach you the skill development and they will give you experience. Training session also they will conduct. This is the importance of incubator for startups. When you choose the incubator, what you should consider? You should see the alignment of goals and the values. What is your goal? What is the goal of the incubator? If these two match, it will be very helpful for you. It will be a well-suited incubator. Mutual benefit will be there. And if there's a track record and reputation of the incubator, it is very good. If it is a proven track record is there will be a probability of high quality support and guidance. And terms and expectation. If you are joining an incubator, you have to see the terms and conditions. How much equity stakes they are expecting, how much fees you have to pay, what is the duration of the program, what is the performance metrics, everything you have to evaluate. The next thing is emerging trends in incubators. In the recent times, there are different types of incubators emerging. Those are given here. Impact incubators. These are impact focused. They will be focusing on the impact which they will be immediately creating. They will target the startups that want to create an impact and also earn profits. They have to create the impact in social and environmental issues and also they have to earn profit. Example, Acumen Academy. The next thing is virtual incubation. Same like online classes, there will be virtual or remote incubation. They will give you mentorship, networking, event, everything they will give. But it will be in an online mode. They will be using the digital technology and online platform. You will be having the flexibility. Whenever you want, you can attend. Wherever place you are, you can attend. There will be accessibility. You can even cater to underserved regions. Even in rural areas, you can use this virtual incubation concept. Example, Distro Dojo of 500 startups. Corporate incubator. They are also the same thing which we saw earlier. Established by corporations for innovation and entrepreneurship. The next thing is, this is about the incubators. They have given some example of incubators. Y Combinator, Techstars, they have given a lot of incubators and the startups which are funded by those incubators and startups which are depending on the incubators. Here, two types of incubators are important here you have to see. First thing is TIEDS and Atal Incubation Center. Other things you can study a little bit, you can just give a reading, that is not that much important, but these two are important. They may ask you questions from this. TIDES IIT Roorkee. It is for entrepreneurs with an idea and seeking co-founder. You have an idea, you want a partner for the startup. You have to have an idea. These are the fields in which the TIDES IIT Roorkee is focusing on. The duration for this program is 6 months to 3 years. They will also help for financing schemes for startups. Atal Incubation Center. It is also for aspiring entrepreneur with idea and they are searching for co-founder. You should have an idea. These are all the areas where the Atal Incubation Center is focusing. The duration of this program is 6 months. This is the things about incubator. We have completed half of the chapter. The next thing we are going to see is accelerator. Now, what is the meaning of accelerator? They are centers just like incubator, but they will nurture startup along with accelerating their growth. What is incubator means? It will help the startup up to getting ready to the market. They will make the startup ready for the market. When the startup launches the product, the incubator work is completed. They have prepared the startup to go to the market. That is the objective. In accelerator, they already have a product. They have to accelerate the growth. In accelerate means in simple terms we have to say speed up the growth. You have to grow faster. For that you are going for a short-term program with accelerator. Main difference is incubator has a long-term program. It may be in years also, but in accelerator we have a short-term program only. It will be completed within certain months itself. The next thing is what they are doing. They will be giving a fixed time period. Within this period, you have to join the accelerator and we will help you to speed up your growth. There will be a structured program, an intensive program. You have to work very hard in the accelerator to grow your business in a very faster manner. There will be a cohort-based approach. Cohort-based approach means you will be working in a team-like thing. You will be a group of individuals. You will be working and growing together. It will be a short-term program as I already said. And then what are the services they are providing? Mentorship, education, funding, networking. Same like incubator, but they will be a little bit intensive, structured and focused. They will focus mainly on key areas like product development, business strategy, sales and marketing and all. They will focus. They will have a focused approach. They will also provide seed funding by equity financing. Generally, incubator, they will not give you any funding. Funding you cannot expect from the incubator. But accelerator, they will give you the seed funding. They will give you the amount to invest in the startup. Benefits of joining an accelerator. This will be seeing in the study material content itself. Okay. Now we are seeing the importance and the benefits of accelerator. They will help you in the business strategy and planning. How to make the strategy and all, they will help you. Product development, they will give you hands-on experience and they will make you understand the entire process of product development. Sales and marketing also, they will give you strategies and ideas. Financial management and fundraising, they will help you in financial management and how to secure the funding, they will help you. Leadership and team building, they will teach you. Networking and relationship building, that also they will give you an advantage. Pitching and communication also you can do. And then resilience and adaptability, they will teach you. These are all the important benefits of joining an accelerator. Now we can see what is the difference between an incubator and accelerator. Incubator will be supporting early stage startups. Early stage means we already saw in the stage of development, those early stage. Accelerator will be intensively supporting same early stage startup. Next thing is duration. Incubator long term, accelerator short term. Intensity. Incubator will have a less structured and flexible support that will be there. But in accelerator, there will be more structure, intensive approach will be there. Focused support they will give. The next thing is stage of startup. In the incubator, if you want to go, there will be in the stage of idea validation. In the example of incubator itself, we saw definitely an idea should be there. They will be in the stage of idea validation. Only idea will be there, will be available with them. In the accelerator, they will have already developed a product. That product will be, they will be selling in the market. They have to grow rapidly. For that purpose only, they are joining the accelerator. Services provided, mentorship, networking, resources, they will be provided in the incubator. Intensive support, intensive mentorship, intensive education, intensive access, everything will be given in accelerator. Everything will be intensive. Outcome. Incubator, they are till they are ready for the market, they will help the startups. In accelerator, it is the main motive is increase the chance of success in a short period. Investment. They will give access to funding sources. Incubator, they will not directly provide the money, but they will show you the path for investors and funding resources. In accelerator, they will itself provide you the funding. Now we have to see an example which will be about two things. If a company enters an incubator, what will be happening? If it enters an accelerator, what will be the approach? If a company enters an incubator, they will be giving a mentor, and that mentor will be an experienced entrepreneur. They will help you to refine the business model, develop a go-to-market strategy. As we already saw, go-to-market strategy is a strategy to reach the consumers. Identify potential target market. In that aspect also, they will help you. They will help you in networking. They will conduct workshop and training for you. Alternatively, in an accelerator, what they will do is they will enroll you in an intensive and structural program. It will have a lot of mentors. In that, you have only one mentor. Here, you are paired with a team of seasonal mentors. More than one mentor will be there. They will be giving you hands-on support and guidance. They will conduct workshop, boot camp for you. They will focus on key areas like product development, customer acquisition. They will give you enough education. They will also give you seed funding. They will introduce you to a vast network of investors. You can gain investment opportunity and networking opportunity from that. They will be giving you milestones, and you will be performing exceeding those milestones because of their guidance. They will help you in launching marketing campaign. That also they will help. In summary, what they are telling is, startup, if you want what are all the perfect needs for your startup, that you have to decide. According to that, you have to go whether incubator or accelerator. If you want a large amount of you have to grow rapidly within a short period of time, you have to go to accelerator. If you want extensive support for a long term program, you can go to incubator. For selecting the right incubator or accelerator, what you have to see is that stage of development. In which stage you are there, whether you are in pre-seed stage or seed stage, that you have to examine, and then according to that you have to choose. Focus and expertise. In which thing you want focus, whether you want general guidance or you want focused guidance, that you should see. Resources and support services. Whatever the support services, mentorship, networking, funding, the incubator or accelerator is giving, you have to see whether it is matching with your requirement. Next thing is track record and reputation. If you join a incubator or accelerator with a proven track record, it will be increasing your credibility and visibility in the market. It will be helping you in a number of ways. Like that, if it is the same thing, like if you are joining a reputed college, your degree will be more valuable. Same like that, if you are joining a reputed incubator or accelerator, it will be helpful for your startup. Program structure and duration. You have to consider the program structure also, whether it is focused, incentive, or it is a general guidance, and what is the duration of the program. That also you should see. Here they have given a lot of examples for incubators and accelerators. This you can read once. It is not that much important. The next thing we are going to see is working of incubator and accelerator. How you will be joining it, what will happen there, that is given here. First, you have to make the application. Upon your application, they will select you or reject you. That will be communicated to you after your application. You have to participate in the program. It will be ranging from several months to few years, the duration. You will get mentorship, office space, you will get workshop and training program. That and all you can get from the incubator or accelerator. They will give you mentorship and guidance. They will help you to face the challenges, make the decisions, and they will guide you in among common pitfalls. What are the common mistakes people make? That they will tell you and help you for avoiding those mistakes. Access to resources. They will give you accounting services, legal services, marketing support, funding and investment opportunity. Everything they will give to you. Networking opportunity also will be there. Demo days and graduation. In an incubator program, at the end of incubator program, you will be given a demo day. In that you have to showcase your progress at the demo day. You have to show to the investors what I have achieved, what all the milestones that I have achieved. You have to show. By that you can secure funding also. The next thing is life of a founder in an incubator. If you are going to an incubator, what will be the routine of you? In the morning, the incubator, you will be coming to the incubator, and then you have to check the schedule for the day. What are all the activities you have to do? That you will be checking. Then you have to start the work after catching up on the emails. In the midday, what you will do is that you will be joining a mentorship session with an experienced entrepreneur. In the afternoon, you will be doing a workshop on fundraising. This is a typical example given for a life of a founder in an incubator. You will be attending a networking event in the evening, and the night before sleeping you have to see the accomplishment which you have done, and you have to review the goals for the next day. This is a normal thing which is given here, and then the things founders should take along to accelerator. Before going to accelerator, what you should have, this is the pre-requirement, and you should have a clear business plan for the first thing. You should have a clear business plan. It should have vision, mission, target market, value proposition, growth strategy, everything you have seen in detail in the earlier chapters. Open mindset, you should be open for learning and growing only you are going there. Elevator pitch, you should be having an elevator pitch ready. If you are getting to meet an investor, you can make an elevator pitch and you can get a funding from him. Goal setting, you have to set clear and measurable goals. Networking material, you have to always carry your business card, pitch deck or promotional material. If you see an investor and if you want to give him, you should be able to give it to him properly. Laptop and work tools, you have to take a laptop and any necessary software for working in the accelerator. Resilience and perseverance is very important in the accelerator journey. The next thing is benefits of joining a startup incubator or accelerator. Same thing they are telling again and again. You can read it by yourself. Next thing is impact of incubator and accelerator in a business strategy. They will help you in a strategic planning. Strategic planning is very important for a business. If you have a strong business strategy, you can succeed very easily. Business strategy is a vital subject taught in many incubators. It is very important and it is taught in many incubators also. Here they have given a lot of examples and case studies to see how business strategy is impacting the businesses. How incubator and accelerator helped real life world example corporations to achieve their goals. You can read this by yourself. These are just success stories. In every chapter, examples and success stories like this are given. These are not much important. Mainly, you have to read the concept. That is the most important thing. This is the end of the 8th chapter, Startup Incubator and Accelerator. Next we are going to see chapter 9. This is a miscellaneous chapter. Everything it will not be related to a single topic. Various topics will be in this chapter. And this chapter contains a lot of success stories and examples. You can read those examples if you want. I am not going in depth into the examples as they are very simple and they are also not important. So I will be covering only the main concepts which are important in this chapter. And also one thing to notice, this chapter has less weightage when compared to other chapters. So you have to concentrate on the other chapters more. And this chapter will have only small topics and very easy topics. This also you can very easily cover. Now we are going to see what are the important topics in this chapter. There are totally 8 topics which are important. First thing is sources of funding and funding agents. Next thing is building a startup team. These are all very small topics, you can cover it easily. And then founder grooming, PR agency, crisis management, startup community, key things to know before joining startup community, and exit strategy. In this, what are all the important ones? First thing is this sources of funding and funding agencies is important. Second thing is key things to know before joining startup community. This is important. Then next thing is role of PR agency. This is not that much important, but you can give it a reading. After reading this, you can cover the remaining topics. First, you have to watch this class. After that, you can read from the notes. I have provided the PDF in the Telegram group. From that PDF, you can read these. First, we are going to see about sources of funding and funding agents. All those pages which I skipped now were full of examples. You can read that by yourself if you want. It is not that much important. Now we are going to see sources of funding and funding agents. There are different sources of funding like bootstrapping. Bootstrapping, as we saw in the earlier chapter, it was about self-financing. We will be using our own personal savings to make the investment in the startup. You can also get funds from friends and family. Next thing is angel investor. We already saw a detailed topic about angel investor in a previous chapter. They will be high net worth individuals. They will give you capital in exchange of ownership equity. It is a type of equity financing. You give them this much percentage of equity share, they will give you money. Next thing is venture capital. Venture capital, it is given by investment firms. They will give the capital. They will also get equity ownership in exchange. They will invest larger sums of money when compared to angel investor. For example, if angel investor invests 1 CR, the venture capitalist will invest 10 CR. They will invest more money when compared to the angel investor. They will target the startups which will have a lot of market potential and revenue potential. So they will invest more and they will have a more active role in the company's management. If the angel investor gives the money, he will not involve that much in the operations of the business. But if a venture capital firm gives you money for a startup, then they will more actively involve in the decision making of the management. Crowdfunding. It is, you already know, it is a method of funding where you collect small amounts from large number of individuals and then you can get a substantial amount at the end. Next thing is bank loan. These are traditional bank loan. You have to repay with interest. You have to give collateral asset. Same things. Then grants and subsidy. If you comply with certain conditions, government will give you grant. That is the meaning of grant and subsidy. It need not be repaid. You need not make any repayment. Then accelerator program. We saw an entire chapter about incubator and accelerator. They will give you funding, mentorship, resources. They will give you a demo day for showcasing your product to investor. They will also ask for equity ownership in exchange for the money. Incubator, they will also give you mentorship, networking, office space. They will give you support infrastructure, everything they will give you. Mainly incubator will not give you funding, but accelerator, it will give you funding. The main thing of accelerator is it will give you funding and it is a short-term program. Corporate investment. Corporations may also, they will also give you capital, access to resources, opportunity also, they will also give you. These are all the sources of funding for startups. The next thing we are going to see is, in the first 8 topics, we covered one topic, and the next thing is building a startup team. This is given about building a right startup team. First step is defining your vision. You have to clearly tell what is the vision of your startup. What are you going to do? What is your motive? That you have to tell clearly. Next thing is hiring for culture fit. You have to hire the employees based on their culture fit also. Whether their values and goals are aligning with the startup values and goals. That also you have to see very clearly. Hiring any candidate. Diversity, inclusion. It should have a large number of people with a diverse background. In a startup, if you are hiring, you can hire a number of people with a different background. They will bring creativity, innovation, that and all they will bring. They will help in problem solving and decision making also. Building trust and transparency. Trust and transparency is an important factor when you are hiring a candidate. If you are trusting him, you can give any work to him. He will be doing it. If you cannot trust him, you cannot employ him, and you cannot get that much productivity from him. You have to be transparent and you should communicate openly. Trust is very important. The employee should be honest, approachable and accountable. You should be very approachable for the employee. The employee should be able to tell all the things to you. Empowering and delegating. This is an important point. In exam, you may get questions on this point. It is about delegating responsibilities. You are allocating work to each person. This work is your responsibility. If any problem comes in this work, I will ask you only. You are answerable for this work. That is the meaning of delegating the responsibility. And then empowering. You are giving the power to him. For a particular process or a particular department, you are giving the power to the employee and telling him to manage the entire department. He will be like the in charge of the department. If you give that thing to him, he will work with a more motivation and he will try to give more value to the company. You have to give support and guidance when required. The question how they will frame is, they will tell you how in which category you have to trust your team's capabilities and you have to give support and guidance, and then they will give you the options as headings. They will give you 4 options: building trust and transparency, empowering and delegating. Like that 4 options, they will give you the headings. That heading you have to choose properly. Our study material itself, we have a question like this. Next thing is continuous learning and development. You have to arrange a skill development program and workshop, training, mentorship for developing their skills. Managing conflict and resolving differences. If you have any difference of opinion, you have to resolve it by open communication. This is the next topic which we have completed. The next topic is founder grooming. Founder grooming means the startup founder, you should show him in a very good image in the public forum. When people are seeing, he should be a very good prominent image. People should look high on the founder. They should have a lot of respect for the founder. Only then you will have a lot of value in the market for the startup. For that, the founder should have various skills. He should have a strong personal brand. You have to implement public relation program for gaining good awareness and good reputation in the mind of the people. For that, you should have effective communication skills. Both verbal and non-verbal communication is important. Body language is very important. He should be an expert and he should have credibility in the respective field. Next thing is, when you are creating a public image for a founder, you have to create a narrative around their background experience. This person is this much expert in this field. That all you should tell. By listening this, people will think that the founder is a very good guy. He has a lot of experience and he is a very respectable person. Then you have to employ strategies also for keeping your founder in the mind of the people always. If he is always in the mind of the people, your startup will gain more visibility. The next thing is role of PR agency in grooming founder. What is PR agency doing in grooming founder? They will be helping to build the personal brand. There will be a personal brand for the startup founder. Even if the particular startup fails, if the respectable founder starts another startup, people will be interested in it because he was such a respectable person in the minds of the people because of the strategies which are implemented by the public relation agencies. You can strategically position themselves as industry expert. You can show the founder as an industry expert. Establishing credibility. If you are giving media interviews and speaking engagement, people will have credibility for you in their mind. Managing reputation. You have to protect the reputation of the founder. Next thing is driving growth and visibility. You have to generate positive media coverage. Media should show only positive things about you. These are all the 4 things you have to do for grooming the founder. PR agency will be helping you in these things. Crisis management by PR agencies. Here there are 6 things. Transparency and accountability. If you are a PR agency working for a startup founder, you have to be transparent and accountable when you are creating a public image for the founder. Then you have to have good relation with the media. The next thing is stakeholder engagement. You have to tell the things to stakeholders which are important for them and relevant for them. You should engage them by your communication. Reputation management. You should manage the reputation of the founder. If there is any problem or defaming happening for the founder, you should help him and help him to recover out of that emergency situation and place him in a good image. Consumer outreach. If a startup founder has a good image, the public will never hesitate to buy the product. They will be motivated to buy the product because of the founder. Successful mitigation. By using these things, you will be mitigating the risk. The next thing is, they have given a lot of examples for how PR agencies handle the emergencies and bad reputation for companies. Like Maggi, they had an allegation that they had a lot of lead and all in their Maggi noodles. So they had a bad reputation in the market. After that, they launched marketing campaigns to overcome that. Like that, they have given a lot of examples. You can read it by yourself. The main concept is PR agency will create a good image for the founder and the company in the mind of the people. The next topic we are going to see is startup community. Startup community means it is a platform where all the startups will be there. Their founders, co-founders, investors, mentors, everyone will be there. You can go and engage with them. Only then you can get industry connections, networking and all. The benefits of startup community are, joining a startup community, you can get network opportunity. You can get access to resources like mentorship, funding and all you can get. Next thing is knowledge sharing. You can communicate and learn together and grow together. You can expand your knowledge. You will get a support system. Those startups and founders and mentors will help you in guidance and emotional support. They will be for you. Next thing is visibility and exposure. If you go to many startup community and engage in activities, you will have a good visibility. Opportunity for collaboration. If you engage with, if you communicate with a lot of startups, someone will be there to help for you in any of your situation. Staying informed. You will be updated according to the latest trend in the market. There are some key things which you have to know before joining a startup community. First thing is you have to familiarize yourself with the startup jargon. If the people are startup founders in a startup community are talking, you should be able to understand. For that, you should know the common startup terminology. And for example, like seed funding, Series A, these are all normal startup terms which you have to understand when speaking with the other startup founders. You should also know about business model, that and all. You should have an awareness. Research industry trend. You have to be updated with the current trend, challenges and opportunity. Only then you can communicate effectively. Develop networking. You have to develop your networking skills. You should be able to network and have collaboration with all the investors that you meet. Prepare your elevator pitch. We saw an entire chapter for pitching and presentation. In that, it will be very detailed about how to present an elevator pitch, what are the essentials and all. That you have to create properly. Build a personal brand. You have to create an online presence using LinkedIn, Telegram, YouTube or that. And then you have to build a personal brand using that. That will help you in your startup journey. These are all the topics which are important. And the one more topic is exit strategy. That also we will be seeing now. Exit strategy means it is a strategy where the startup founders or the investors, they will sell their share and earn their return on investment. Why they are investing in your startup? For return on investment only. When they will be encashing their return on investment, they will be working for the growth of the startup. When they will get the returns in hand, that will be at the stage of exit strategy. Return on investment is it will vary based on various factors. It will differ based on the stage of startup. It will be differing based on industry to industry, and specific investment they will give more returns also. Startups they will have a lot of potential, and investors will invest only if they have potential to generate more returns. If they get only 5x to 10x return, only then they will invest that much amount of capital. They will consider the growth potential and scalability. The investors will consider before investing. There are different types of exit strategy like acquisition, IPO, merger and acquisition, management buyout, liquidation. We are going to see it one by one. Acquisition means you are a startup. You will be acquired by a large company. Another large company will purchase you, and then they will develop it from that stage. Initial public offering. You will be listing your shares in the stock exchange, and public can buy and sell your shares. This will create a visibility, credibility in the market. Then it will also give a lot of funding also. You can raise a large amount of capital using IPO. Merger means two companies are amalgamating. They are becoming a single company, and then it is an exit opportunity for founder. If founders want to retire or they want to leave the startup and go for other business or other work, they can do that by using merger. They can merge two companies, they can give the ownership to the other company, and then they can retire. It will also give potential synergy effect. If two companies are working together, there will be mutual benefit also. Management buyout. Now in startup, who will be holding the ownership? There will be two persons. One is the startup founder, other one is the investor. Startup founder will have the ownership because they are the ones starting it. Investors will have it because they would have given the investment for startup in exchange for equity ownership. Now the existing management, the team who is managing the startup, they will purchase the ownership from the investor. The investor will be having some 20%, and then the founders will be generally having some 80%. The founders and the existing management, they will purchase it from the investor. After the purchase, 100% ownership will be with the founders and the existing management team. This is called management buyout. Next thing is liquidation. You can sell off the assets and pay off the liabilities, and remaining you can share between the owners. Secondary sale. You can sell the shares in the secondary market. Investors will also be there in the secondary market for purchasing the shares. It will provide liquidity for the startup. You can get immediate cash and fulfill your requirement for working capital. That's all about the 9th chapter. These are all the important topics in this chapter. By this, we are completing all the 9 chapters of SETD, entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem. After this, you can read the chapters from the notes I have provided. I have provided the link for the link to join the Telegram channel. You can join the Telegram channel to access the notes. After reading from the notes, you can solve the questions. I have also uploaded a PDF for repeated questions in SETD paper 3. You can refer to that before going to your exam. You can find all these resources, PDFs and marathon link. Everything you can find in the Telegram channel. I have given the link to join the Telegram channel in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you for watching.